welcome then to the 2023 Royal Marine Corps Championships. We just heard the national anthem, the VIP is in the ring, and we will momentarily be hearing from the Royal Marines Corps drums.
To celebrate the forthcoming victory. The drums of the opposing armies march around the perimeter of the camp to act as clearance control. And it's said no longer allowed they play would have the more demoralising effect on the opposing side. And this is where the best meetings have evolved.
of Drums of His Majesty's Royal Marines Commando Training Centre. Sir, do I have your permission to dismiss the Corps of Drums?
Well, Stunt Gordon, on behalf of us all here tonight, thank you for a world-class performance. It's exceptional, and some particularly ninja drill up in this ring. Before you go, would you join me in a glass of port? To the Royal Marines.
Audience, ladies and gentlemen, praise audience.
Well, that is one way to start the evening. Starting it with a bang with the Royal Marine Corps of Drums.
The Commandant, the Commando Training Centre, Royal Marines.
Thank you very much, So, ladies and gentlemen, a very, very warm welcome to the Commando Training Centre. It's fantastic to see so many of you here. And I say that not only as a Commandant, but also as the Chairman of the Royal Marine Sports Association. So fantastic to see so many of you supporting here tonight. A couple of special mentions, if I may. Those are to the Chairman of the Royal Marine Boxing Association, Brigadier Mike Tanner, who does an awful lot for the sport. To John Rolls, who is our headline sponsor tonight, and we wouldn't be able to do this without him. Thank you, John, for Stellar Transport. And also to the Eleventh Boxing Club, with whom we have an excellent relationship. It's great to have you here. We also have a bit of a star-studded lineup. Military BFBS tonight. The Commander of the UK Strike Force, Reverend Rob Hedray, who's responsible for the UK carrier strike capability, as well as the Free Command Brigade. So you're very welcome. The Commander of TF51-5, all the way from Bahrain with his team, Brigadier General Reed, so you're very welcome. And the Commander of Joint Forces Operations, Brigadier Neymar. Gentlemen, thank you very much for being here tonight. So you're all aware that the Commando Training Centre is the regimental home and heart of the Corps, but it's also the home of Royal Marine Sports. And we have a very vibrant sports association, of which there are 32 separate sporting associations. So it's a great honour to host the final of the Corps Boxing Championships here tonight, after 3 hard-fought days of pugilism. And so we've got boxers from across the Commando Force, and for the first time, I believe, from 2 Commando. So we'll see how that works out. So good luck to all the boxers. Now, boxing is all about courage, determination, fitness, and competition. So, of course, it's the most relevant to commando service and those qualities that we all recognise. So please do recognise the boxers. It takes quite a lot of guts to get up here and fight in front of so many people. So I'd like to hear some significantly loud cheers, please. And finally, a few thank yous, because of course an event like this doesn't happen on its own. So, to the sponsors, as I mentioned, Stellar Transport, thank you, John, but also to the RNA, the Royal Marine Charity, Sarah is here from, is the Chief Operating Officer, they support all of the Royal Marine Sporting Association fixtures, so thank you to the charity. And of course, this wouldn't happen without the organisers, the PT staff, and I'd like to particularly single out Simon Simpson, who's done so much to make this evening happen. So thank you, Simon Simpson. I'd like to thank our legendary Master of Ceremonies, Phil Gilby, who's been doing this for many years and makes these evenings all the richer. And of course, finally to our boxers and coaches who fought so hard and trained so hard to be here. So round of applause for them all, please. And there's one final mention, and that is for a man who has been involved in boxing his entire life, as a competitive boxer, but also as a coach, and he's done an awful lot for bringing a lot of young people into the sport. So Major Tommy McPhee, wherever you are, thank you for all of your support, and thank you for organising this evening, and this is your last event as an officer at the Commando Training Centre. So thank you to you, Tommy. Thank you very much, everybody.
Ladies and gentlemen, please show your appreciation once again for the Corps of Drums.
What a performance it was from the Royal Marine Corps of Drums. And as we take our seats, I'd like to once again say welcome along to the Royal Marine Corps Boxing Championships of 2023. I'm Carl Dixon, joined by the experience, the knowledge of Lieutenant Commander Lucy O'Connor. Give me a very bad look for that one. Welcome along. You were invited here as well by the Marines, which is always nice. And we are about to get ready for our first contest. It should be a big night.
I'm very excited. Leading up to this event, as you've heard, there have been 2 preliminary days of boxing that have had fireworks. We've heard lots of stories about some fantastic boxing, so I can't wait for this final night.
Well, we're going to open up with 2 unbeaten young boxers, both age 20, both have fought 3 times and won 3 times. So something's got to give tonight.
Someone's always got to go.
We are going to, I believe both boxers are going to walk in together, as you can see, and the light show has started. This is, we've got Marine Jonas Lord against Marine Josh Harvey. Lord from 4-3 Commando and Harvey from 4-5 Commando. So 2 very young boxers to kick us off in the welterweight. So it should be fireworks.
I think, nobody wants to lose tonight, and I think that's it. That's the same for any boxer that goes into the ring, but particularly if you're on an unbeaten streak, there's a lot of pressure on you to come away with that win. So they'll both be putting everything they've got into this.
And not just the unbeaten streak, to open the night here, to open it the right way. I mean, I will say now, Marine Lord, Jonas Lord, has a slight height advantage. I don't know if that will go into it, maybe a slight reach in the red corner against, of course, Josh Harvey in the blue. And with core pride on the line, they will give it everything.
Nowadays, height, yes, can be an advantage. It gives you the longer reach, but the change in style of boxing nowadays, much more professional style, where we switch from body to head, and actually sometimes being shorter and stocky and having that really good engine could be an advantage. Who knows?
The first bout of the evening is the welterweight intermediate contest, boxed over 3 2-minute rounds. Between the red corner and representing 4-3 Commander, Marine Lord. And in the blue corner, representing 4-5 Commander, Marine Harvey.
Well, you can hear who the favourites in the training centre today. We do have some homegrown talent from the Commando Training Centre fighting later on in the card. But it's Harvey who is the favourite in the crowd. Let's see what these 2 young boxers can do. And I will say, anybody who saw our boxing night last week, we had 5 knockouts in a row, or 5 referee stoppages in a row. Let's see what happens today. Strong start from both men. Lots of great body shots from Harvey. Unsurprisingly, with their age and their momentum and confidence, both men are willing to be on the attack here. Great left hand from Harvey. Lord has already taken a couple of shots here.
Lord is nice and compact. I really like his shape. He's got nice high hands. He's quite happy to stay there in range. He's quite happy to exchange. Perhaps just a little bit more head movement. Maybe he stays there just a little bit longer, but he's finishing the exchange and certainly catching the judge's eye, I'd say.
Lord managed to dodge a wild right hand and come back for more on the attack. Starting to gain his footing in this one. Harvey has his reply though, really strong punches.
It's a fast start, isn't it? I mean, let's see if they can keep this up for the rest of the 2 minutes, but for the whole bout. It's a good positive start by both boxers.
A very even start as well. Both men getting jabs and getting punches in. Another body shot there from Harvey, followed up by a strong left hand. Wild shot from Harvey, and Lord is going to take a count here.
It was wild, but it just came back around the guard. It caught him like a peach on the temple, and there ones can really discombobulate you.
Count of 8, but we will continue. So a standing count in the first round for Jonas Lord. and that will mean he will have to come out fighting. He does into the corner as we try to end the round with a flurry. Both men swinging left and right. Up on the ropes, Harvey, but manages to fight it back, and that's the end of the first round. Probably slightly edged to Harvey because of the punch, but it's very close still.
Yeah, I think it's a really even round. I think, you know, because of the count, maybe that might sway the judges, but of course the count doesn't necessarily mean it's a 10-8 round as it would in the professional. It just means that it gives the boxer an opportunity to recover for safety purposes. And I think Lord came back strong towards the end of that round, so I think it was very even. Hard to tell between the two.
If you take a standing count in the first round, does it change your tactics for the rest of the fight?
I mean, it can do, and it depends how you take the shot. You know, he seemed absolutely fine. He didn't seem to have wobbled. I can't see in his eyes from this direction, but he came straight back in. He seemed very controlled. He threw some great combinations, and he went straight back into the fight. So it was a really good response from Lord.
As we get ready to go for the second round, I will say we are live right now on the Forces News Facebook and YouTube channel, so get your comments in. Providing we get the service to read them, we will try and read the best of them out that are broadcast worthy as we get going then in this second round. And Harvey knows he can catch Lord with that right hand. Lord will have to try and find his own attack. Both men very quick, but their defences are sort of staying strong in this one.
Both boxers trying to dominate that centre of the ring, and I think Lord just has it on the front foot there a little bit. Sometimes you can kind of, you give the impression that you're dominating if you're on the front foot, if you push your opponent towards the ropes. I think Lord is very good at doing that, but Harvey comes back with those surprise attacks that sort of land perhaps the more eye-catching shots, single shots.
Lord missed a left hand there. He jabs away. Another good jab through the defence. Harvey not afraid to go for the body shots. They bounce into the ropes right in front of us. Bit of push in. Referee will split this one.
Lord's trying to change of tactics, turning southpaw now.
And at 20 years of age, you've not taken a defeat yet. The confidence to be able to just, right, I'll change it up. I'll go the opposite way. Really good left hand again from Harvey, who's just managing to get those bigger shots in. Jonas Lord is certainly doing the work and getting in shots that aren't as noticeable as you say, but Harvey's just got that power behind him at the moment.
Yeah, he has. I think it's volume versus power. Actually, you know, Harvey, like I said, has got the sort of quite noticeable single shots, certainly the eye-catching ones. But Lord is throwing some great combinations in there, switching the attack from head to body. And to be honest, it depends on the judge's preference.
As not quite the flurry that we saw in the first round to end it off. Both men are a little bit cautious, I think, now as we stop for the second round, and it's still all to play for.
Got to be honest, there seemed to be a spring in the step of Lord as he went back to the corner there, and Harvey, by contrast, just it seems to be blowing quite heavily. So I think it's all going to go on this last round. Again, it's difficult to tell after that second round. Very close, very good boxing.
Harvey looks a little bit disappointed with that round, actually. I think he probably thought after the first round, hitting that big shot, he can come out firing, but you've got to give credit to Jonas Lord. That is some recovery. He's going to take a big shot, I think, or if not, it's down to the judges, and anything can happen when it goes down to the judges.
Yeah, and it may well be down to endurance, and if Lord can keep this pace up, and he's throwing those combinations, he's throwing phased attacks, and actually if he can overwhelm with volume, then I think you know, he's got a good chance of swaying the judges. But again, it just takes single punches from Harvey perhaps to stop Lord in his tracks.
We are seeing two of the brightest potential boxers in the Royal Marines today, and they are really showing how good they are at the moment. Really good right hand from Harvey, and a left jab too. Lord fighting back. Lord really caught him.
We've got Coach Nick McGarry in the red corner imploring his boxer just to keep the pace, keep the volume going, to try and overwhelm him with numbers of shots.
Really
it seems to be working so far.
That left hand backing Harvey up into the ropes a lot more. Lord is dominating the ring at the moment. A little bit wild. But that just shows how much both of these want this right now. On the big stage in front of all of their peers.
Huge pressure.
Oh. Body shots again for Harvey. That seems to be his go-to when he's in a bit of trouble. And it's worked again. He's passed back a really good right hand, just rocked Lord.
Taking turns dominating that centre. Harvey choosing perhaps to lean in just a little bit more to close that range down, having a little word by the referee, and Lord just managing to get in behind the shots and just edging his feet in a little bit more competently.
Both men are really putting good performances. I would not like to be one of the judges right now. Again, Harvey attacking, but Lord has just got some really great defensive shots in.
Great footwork there as well, just to switch positions.
And the body shots from Lord, big right hand blocked. And Harvey fights back with a left hand too. Both men now know this is the final moments where a big shot will matter. Harvey keeps on the attack. Lord, again, good footwork. What's he going to take as we head into the final seconds? One mouthguard's gone flying, and the referee has to stop it. Has to get in the middle. I think it's Harvey's mouthguard, and that's the end of the fight, I believe. I believe it's the end of the fight. We heard the ring bell.
Did hear the bell.
Both fighters look ready to go again there. It is the end of the fight. A little confusion there, but both men put on a great performance. And I mean, let us know in the comments who you think, but that is hard to call, Lisa.
What a great opening bout. Great display of boxing. You know, we saw a bit of everything there. We saw a bit of combinations, we saw phased attacks, we saw power, we saw speed. What a fantastic opening bout, and credit to both boxers.
Natalie Lord on YouTube is supporting, of course, Jonas Lord. I'm not sure any family resemblance, but I'm sure a lot of support for both men. And if you are a judge in these positions, when it's obviously the big stage, and how likely is it that all the judges are going to agree on something so tight as that?
It's quite different. You know, we're sitting here from one perspective, but where you sit in the ring just gives you a very different view, clearly, of what's going on in the ring. So it's easy to see something very differently. Only when it's really very one-sided we get all judges in agreement, and I think that's testament to the kind of good matchmaking that we've got here tonight.
Both men ready, waiting for the answer, looking a little bit nervous. Whose unbeaten run is going to go in the bin tonight? And of course, our voice for the evening is going to take his time to get this one correct. Both men have put on great showings. But here we go.
Please show your appreciation to both boxers. And the winner of bout number 1 by a split decision. In the blue corner, Harvey.
So Marine Josh Harvey continues his unbeaten run. And Marine Jonas Lord tastes defeat for the first time. 45 Commando get the first win of the night, and probably just that more powerful shot.
Yeah, it's definitely the eye-catching shots. Lord had the volume, he had the power, and that was the judge's decision. And I think, you know, like you say, difficult to call.
And when you've got a standing count in the first round, in those tight ones, it kind of goes towards you. But two very good boxers for the future for the Marines, and of course the military as well. We're about ready for our second bout of the night, and we're going to go to middleweight now, and I'm sure we're going to hear a big ovation now, because this is a hometown boy, Marine Tommy Caulfield from Commando Training Centre in the red. And already the crowd starts to get to their feet. He's facing off against, well, this is where it does get interesting, because this is Marine versus Army now. And that may confuse some, but for the first time this year, 2-9 Commando are involved. They are British Army, for anyone who doesn't understand. They are at the Royal Marine Boxing Championships, so they've got, I mean, that's new levels of pride in this one.
most definitely. They're part of 3 Commando Brigade, but as you say, they are Army. It's the first time they've taken part in the Royal Marines Corps Championships. Certainly some reputations on the line here.
So we've got Gunnar Wildish against Marine Caulfield. And that's the way you want to continue this night after a really good first bout. So make sure you guys are getting your comments in on Facebook and on YouTube. A lot of people on YouTube believe that it should have gone towards Jonas Lord there, by the way, so that shows how tight that was. So the judges made their decision, split decision. And will we see the judges have to make a call here? Again, 2 men who are very, very young, both 19, both have only fought 3 times. Unfortunately for Marine Caulfield, he's taken 2 losses and 1 win, while Gunnar Wildish 2 wins and 1 loss. So no unbeaten streaks, but 2 men right at the start of their military boxing career.
Still, again, very good matchmaking in terms of numbers of bouts, you know, both 3 bouts, and there's not a lot between them in terms of wins and losses. So another good matchup, I hope.
The second bout of the evening is a middleweight novice contest boxed over 3 2-minute rounds. Between in the red corner and representing the Commando Training Centre, Marine Caulfield.
And just listen to that roar.
And in the blue corner, representing 2-9 Commando, Welterweight.
Well, the voices of 2-9 Commando being heard, by the way. In terms of height difference, there is a centimetre in it, so I'm not sure we're going to see much of an impact there. This is 2 men who are looking to make an impact tonight. Caulfield home field advantage, that extra pressure in the red. Maybe a fast start as well. He looks ready and raring to go. In fact, it's rather slow out the gate, a bit cautious from both men. Caulfield looking to the body, a good left hand, and a huge cheer from the training centre. Another right hand too. Wildish just needs to calm and hold in there at the minute because Caulfield has come out rocking. A real shove there between
Little
2
ip-on
men.
going on there.
Yeah, let's go, boys, shall we? The pressure's on, the tensions are high when you get to this level of boxing in the British military. But I'm sure the judges would have taken note of that. Really good.
Caulfield clearly got a lot of power. You've seen that lead hook land really early days, and that rear hand is actually a really lovely shot. He does just drop his hands as he throws. He just needs to be cautious as he throws those big bombs, just for anything coming back.
Caulfield has a lot more energy at the moment, that's for sure. No surprise with the crowd on his side, but Wildish has done enough to stay in this first round. Just needs potentially to go on the attack a little bit more. Goes to the right hand, blocked.
Wildish just seems a little unbalanced on his feet. You can see as he throws, he lifts one of his feet off the floor. He just needs to plant his feet a little bit more just to generate that power and keep that shape so that he's in a position where after he throws, he can just defend a little bit more. But yeah, it's a good boxing for both.
That was a good combination there from Wildish as well. Not sure how much of it connected, but it'll give him a huge amount of confidence going forward. And he's on the attack at the end of the first round into the corner. A bit more pushing and shoving from both men. That's twice. And a wild end to the first round, as you would probably expect. Wildish got a good jab in on the left. Just punch after the bell, but didn't connect, and we have got a very even first round again.
Yeah, I think so too. I think you know, there was a lot of energy expelled by Caulfield there, and certainly when you're trying to throw really quite heavy shots, it takes a lot out of you, and certainly if you swing and a miss, that takes even more out of you. So we'll see how he carries the speed and power and endurance into the next round. Wildish, I think he just, you know, he's got the good shape and he's got a good counter punch. I think he just needs to settle. He needs to allow Caulfield to fall short, come back on a counter punch and go again. And I think he's got it in him, certainly to work Caulfield out. Let's see.
Do you think he came into this Wildish thinking, well, I mean, the enemy's home, so to speak, let's get through the first round and go from there? I mean, we'll see now as we go along. I think he's actually looked defensively he's managed to repel a lot of the attacks in that first round.
Yeah, he has, and I think he's been cautious. I think, unfortunately, with 3 rounds, you don't get a lot of time to ease your way into a fight. You've got to make your impression early doors because, again, you're trying to convince the judges that you're the better boxer. And if you can make an early impression, it certainly helps.
Well, he's coming out firing here, but Caulfield's got a few scoring punches in there. That left jab from Caulfield is just connecting 1 or 2 more times than the Marine would prefer. Sorry, the Army soldier would prefer. For the first time, 2-9 Commando are here at the Royal Marine Corps Boxing Championship. So the first man making history for them is Gunnar Wildish in the blue.
Wildish got some really good head movement. He's using his trunk defences really well to avoid the shots coming for him. He just needs to come back on that second phase. He just needs to capitalise on the fact that he makes Caulfield miss.
A couple of punches through. Are we back? We're back. I don't know if we're online, but we're back. Power, of course, when in the Commando Training Centre. If we are back, I'm gonna wait for a nod from anyone. Well, it's clearly too the tensions are too high and too hot that we blew the power. So we're going to keep going.
That was a great shot. Superb rear hand from Caulfield there.
Caulfield back again with the left hand, and bright lights now. How will that affect them, by the way? You're in your flow and stop.
Honestly, it wasn't too much of a break. They're in their zone. It won't affect them too much. They didn't have to sit down. They didn't have to, they didn't have too long out. They'll be back into it. As you can see, they're straight in with a high tempo.
Caulfield with the left and the right. And I'd love to tell you how long's left in the round, but I have absolutely no idea at this point. Caulfield ending it stronger though. Right hand and left hand. Swinging as well. If that one connected, the Army soldier would have been in trouble. And the end of a very eventful round 2. I can't tell you if we are currently live or not, but the boxers don't care. They're ready to swing.
Yes, only round 2. My God, goodness, there's so much that's happened there. I think Caulfield edged that round. I think it's the power that just defines him. I think as the winner of that round. Wildish has got some really good defences. I say it's got some quite good footwork off laterally to the side. I just think he needs to come back with something. He needs to he needs to show the judges something that he makes him miss and he makes him pay with those counter punches. But otherwise, some really good boxing from both.
Still very, very tight to call, as you say. And I mean, the boxing was so outrageous they blew the power. Let's see what round 3 brings now. The main lights are out, the big lights are on. So you can see the amount of people, by the way, that are in here all of a sudden. The lights have come on and everyone's here in front of us. We go for round 3 of just the second bout of the night. And Caulfield is flying again. Really good scoring punches, though, from Gunnar Wildish. Welcome to the contest, Gunnar Wildish. And for a big uppercut there, Caulfield. He knows he's got to throw the big punches too. Both men don't want this to go to a judge's decision because it can go anywhere.
Another significant rear hand there from Caulfield. Wildish's got really good footwork. He has that little step back, little half step back. He just needs to do something afterwards. He can outbox the Caulfield, I think. He just needs to do a little bit more.
There's a lot more on the attack though, Caulfield. He's really taking the fight to Gunnar Wildish, and as we head into the final stages of this final round, it might just edge it for him. Wildish needs to get out of the corner, that's for sure. He needs to start throwing some punches. He looks, you mentioned about sort of lasting throughout the fight. Wildish looks a little bit out on his feet.
Yeah, there's less punches coming from Wildish now, and that's fairly indicative of the fact that he's tired. Again, another one of those rear hands.
What a great right hand that was, and over as well. A little wild, but I think Marine Caulfield has blown the lights off his home tonight. As he's got the momentum, he's got the confidence. And as it stands, and you're the expert, but as it stands, I think he edges it.
I think, yeah, as we are, I think Caulfield has just thrown more punches. He's dominated for the majority of the 3 rounds, dominated with his feet and in the ring.
There can't be long left. There's the final warning, the final shot across the brow. Big swing from Caulfield. He wants to end it now, but it will end to a judge's decision. Big respect from both men. And it will be very interesting to see what they call here. It'll be very interesting to see if we are live. Trying to see if we can get the lights back on, the main boxing lights for the showpiece event. This is finals night at the Royal Marine Corps Championships. And whether it's 2-9 Commando, the Army regiment, so to speak, or the Marine Caulfield from his home base here at the Commando Training Centre. A lot of talk in the ring at the moment because obviously the unexpected blackout, let's say, where the power went, including our power. If we are back, welcome back. Second fight of the night.
Ladies and gentlemen, please show your appreciation for both boxers.
Big applause for both. Put on a great show again.
And the winner of bout number 2 by unanimous decision, Red Caulfield.
That is what we expected. Caulfield just bringing the extra bit of bounce and momentum and, I don't know, attacking ability. And it gets in the win.
Number 2 will be presented by Brigadier Dawes, OBE, Honorary Colonel 2-9 Commando, Royal Artillery. The runner-up for bout number 2, Wildish 2-9 Commando.
The honorary commander for 2-9 Commando, by the way, having to give the winning medal not to his boxer. He's given the second place, or the runners-up medal, to his boxer.
Caulfield Commando Training Centre.
Big cheer for Tommy Caulfield. He deserved that one. He wins in the light middleweight bout. And I mean, we've had 2 bouts. One was a really, really tight contest, went to a split decision. Another bout blew the lights out. What else can happen tonight?
Absolute fireworks it was.
And the Royal Marines Corps boxing champs. A lot of people are looking up at the lights at the moment. We've got the main lights back on. So I think we may about to power down again to just the main boxing lights. I have no idea if we are live. Unfortunately, I can't see any of you guys on Facebook or YouTube at the moment. So if you are commenting, please do. I know the boxers go back and watch this. They will love the support, so please do keep commenting. And as soon as we are back, I will read out the best I can. There's a slight delay here, I think, at the moment, because, of course, it was a bit unexpected. They're just going to get the gym back in order, I think, before we move on to bout 3 as we continue in the light middleweights. And we have 4-3 Commando Regiment against 4-5 Commando Regiment once again, just like the opener. So again, we might just see a really, really tight battle.
We're in very good hands here. We've got Mr. Paul Rosendahl, who is one of the GB's most experienced referees and judges. He's keeping everything light. He's sorting us out. He's
sorting us out, and as you can see, the main lights are back out. We've got the boxing lights back on. We're hoping we have no more issues. And bout number 3 promises to be just as exciting as the first 2. And for 4-5 Commando, they've already won 1 tonight. Marine Josh Harvey beating Marine Jonas Lord. And Well, they could get 2. We've got Marine Toby Hamer against Marine George Nichols from 4th Commando Regiment. We've got Hamer in the blue, we've got Nichols in the red. And the second bout was considered a light middleweight novice bout. This is a light middleweight intermediate bout, a bit more experience and a bit more know-how for these guys in the ring. I mean, I say experience, less fights overall, but just considered a better level. So let's see what these can do. And there is a big age difference here, a 10-year age difference, which isn't something you always see when they match them up. We've got 28-year-old George Nichols against 18-year-old Toby Hamer. Fresher legs, maybe, who knows?
Who knows? You've got the kind of maturity and the kind of emotional regulation and the ability, you know, the kind of life experience that, you know, you take a lot of that into the ring actually, versus youthful exuberance.
Well, I have had it confirmed we are back, as somebody's put on YouTube. You are alive. Yes, we are. We are alive and we are living right now. Nichols versus Hamer then for our third fight of the night. We're going to have, I believe, 6 fights before we have an interval, so we're halfway through the first half.
It's a light, middleweight, intermediate contest, boxed over 3 2-minute rounds. Between in the red corner and representing 4th Commander, Marine Nichols. And in the blue corner, representing 4th Commander, Marine Hamer.
Two men on the biggest stage then, and I mean there's nothing to call them physically. Both, of course, at this light middleweight weight, but height-wise, both 183 centimeters. Nothing to call between them.
Red Nichols, blue Hamer.
The only difference is Marine Hamer hasn't won. He's fought once, lost once, while Nichols does have one more win to his name. So is this the night that Hamer gets his first win, the 18-year-old in the blue? We'll find out. And I mean, I say there's not a physical difference. Hamer seems to be a bit more bulkier than Nichols. Don't know if that goes into it, maybe more power in the punch. Nichols started well, throwing punches. Hamer happy to defend. Potentially lacking in confidence, you know, fought once, lost once. Want to feel your way into this?
Neither of them look like they're lacking confidence. They're quite happy to stand in the pocket. They're quite happy to just sit in that danger zone to throw the shots. That's a great lead hook by Hamer.
It's fascinating watching both men. It's a tactical game of chess at the moment.
This is the first sort of southpaw versus orthodox we've seen tonight. Hamer's using that southpaw stance really well, just keeping that front foot on the outside of Nichols. Great combinations, lovely fast hands.
Really good combinations from Hamer. That will light him up in this first round. It's been a very cautious first round. Both men not wanting to give too much. They are in the attacking positions, as you say. No wild punches like we've seen in the first few fights. Maybe about getting that one big one. That was a great scoring punch from Hamer with the left hand. Weaving and ducking is George Nichols, who, while he has the 10 years on him, doesn't necessarily have the boxing experience difference. So both men evenly matched at the moment.
Nichols just blinking there after he caught that rear hand. Not sure if that clearly hit him on the button, and see how much it affects him.
Well, first round and not a lot to call. Not necessarily a lot of punches thrown there. This was more about working an opportunity and seeing when the hands go down and taking advantage. Didn't drop the hands necessarily there.
No, little game of a physical game of chess in the ring. This was. It was a really good demonstration of boxing skill. if I was to call it, I'd say that Hamer just put those combinations together with a little bit more panache, shall we say, and that rear hand lead hook just caught him pretty much every time. And I think Nichols just needs to be careful with that front hand, just needs to hold it a little bit higher. Otherwise, that lead hook could cause him some problems moving forward.
A lot of support on YouTube, I will say, for George Nichols in the red corner. On Facebook, we've got Carl Sheehan live watching from Belgium. And of course, BFBS sport editor John Knighton is watching along even on his days off. It says you are well and truly back. Yes, we are. Let's see what this second round can bring. And if you're George Nichols or Toby Hamer, this is there to go for. This is there to grab after that first round. Stalemate is probably the word. Hamer getting more of those combinations. Nichols is very, very determined to wait for his opportunity. There's one of them. Great right hand. Hamer has him backed up on the ropes a little bit, but he fights back. We expected tonight the talent to be really high and to match well and potentially give these sort of bouts where it's hard to call. We've had that along the way, really happening again in bout number 3.
That's really good boxing talent, really good boxing technique actually here. We've seen a variety of styles, but actually we haven't seen any brawls, we haven't seen any fights, we've seen technique, and that's testament to the coaches who you know, we've got some fantastic coaches in the Royal Marines and in the wider Royal Navy, and it's testament to their knowledge and to their dedication, as well as clearly the boxers have trained very hard for this. So yeah, well done to everybody here so far.
Hamer caught a really good right hand there, by the way, that just forced Nichols to come out and attack a little bit more. Hamer seems to have slight edge on the scoring punches as we head towards the end of the second round. That's a great scoring punch from Nichols, though. That'll get him back into it. Left hand.
Nichols is defending much better. He's got much higher hands now, so he's taking the shots of Hamer on the gloves, which aren't scoring shots, and he's taking that opportunity after to counter, and he's countering to the body and the head much better this round by Nichols.
Both men taking their time compared to the first two. That's not taking his time. That was a bit wild from Nichols, but he's coming out on the attack now. Bit of push in, the referee will get in the middle of it. And a wild end to the round, but still, I mean, I can't call it. You're the expert, but it's very difficult.
I think certainly a better round for Nichols than the first round, and as I say, he caught Hamer a few more times on the counter. I don't know if it's just the perspective we're sitting at, but Hamer just seems to stand just that little bit taller. He seems to be using his range a little bit more. Nichols is more squat, and actually he's using that position to start with the body and switch to the head. So it's been effective for both, but I agree it's still very close, sitting on the fence. Hannah
on YouTube says Nichols is busier and meaner. That, again, similar to what you're saying, getting him potentially edging the second round. Potentially, I mean, each judge sees it differently from different parts of the ring as well. And we have a lot of the best judges that the Marines have got to offer tonight as well. Round 3 then. Once we finally get going. And it's a little bit more frenetic, but not the wild brawl that you were saying. This is about getting that right moment. And at the moment, George Nichols is happy to eat the jabs, happy to eat the blows to the gloves and come back with something else.
Yep, much better. He's taking the shots on the gloves to the majority, or he's slipping, so actually his defence is much better here, Nichols, and he's taking the opportunity to counter, and he's landing some pretty significant shots. Not so much coming back from Hamer at the beginning of this round.
Well, as we said earlier, we've already seen one 4-3 Commando versus 4-5 Commando match, bout even, and that was a win for 4-5 Commando, so Hamer looking to continue that in the blue, while Nichols has got some pride to fight back. He gets caught in the ropes as well. You don't see that very often. Really good right hand there from Nichols. We're seeing Hamer trying to throw more, but also getting caught more because of it.
And he's still throwing those really good combinations, but Nichols is just moving his head that little bit more and you know, using some good trunk defences.
Picking him off.
Yep.
Misses the right hand there, though.
Perhaps getting us slightly ragged as we go towards the end of this final round.
Just a slower pace compared to the first two fights here. That's strong from Hamer. As the end of the fight nears, Hamer getting a really good left hand scoring punch there. That did just, a late one. Hugs and respect. I mean, that one won't count for him, but that is a very, very tight one to call again.
Very much so.
Nichols and Hamer giving it all in the ring. Nichols potentially just a little bit more savvy at times there.
I think in the first round he got caught a little bit too much, and Hamer was able to use those really quite simple but effective combinations, particularly that rear hand lead hook, which was very effective, very eye-catching. But I think in the last two rounds, Nichols managed to get his defences going and certainly his counterboxes going, which meant that he finished the exchange and perhaps caught the judge's eye. But again, I'm going to sit on the fence. It's close.
It's very close. Let's see what the judges have come up with then, shall we? Hamer in the red, Nichols in the red, Hamer in the blue. Whether it's 4-3 commando or 4-5 commando. This is a fight that could go a long way to deciding the final team award as well. But I'd love to say we can keep track of, but all the preliminary fights go into it. We will be told at the end, we're told. That's the information we were given. The delay in getting the decision as well shows that a lot of thought gone into this one.
Please show your appreciation to both boxers. And the winner of bout number 3 by unanimous decision, Blue Hamer.
Well, unanimous decision as well, not quite what we were necessarily expecting. The judges see things differently from their different angles. And Hamer picks up the victory for 4-5 commando. 2 wins out of 3 for them tonight. Well, 2 wins out of 2 for them, but 2 out of the 3 bouts have gone to 4-5 commando.
Yeah, the unanimous decision doesn't necessarily mean that all judges agree. As you know, it just means that 3 out of the 5 judges agreed that Hamer won 2 out of the 3 rounds, and they don't necessarily have to all be the same 2 rounds. So it could still have been a really close fight. And
well,
indeed was.
Stephen Gilbert on YouTube says, right call in my opinion, so he agrees with the judges. That's 3 bouts down. The lights are still working. We are good so far. Is there any wood we can touch? There we go. And we're about to get going for number 4, and we are expecting a very, very good middleweight bout here. Actual middleweight, not light middleweight as we said earlier. It is time for Commando Logistic Regiment to join the Knights against the Army soldier from 2-9 Commando. It's Marine Daniel Humphreys in the red against Private Lemani Digataki in the blue. Big round of applause and a lot of noise inside the training centre for these two. Private Digataki, only the 2nd Army soldier to compete at the Royal Marine Boxing Championship. We only saw the first one 2 bouts ago, admittedly. For anybody who's a stickler for these sort of things, 3 bouts in, 2 blue, 1 red. What that means for Marine Daniel Humphreys in the red today, I don't know. against army soldiers feel like, okay, you're infiltrating our competition, I need to deal with this? Any of that sort of rivalry go into it?
Most definitely. I mean, it's a Royal Marines family in many senses, as I say, 3 brigade or 3 commander brigade family, but I think there are still identities that will create some rivalry.
For the first time in the night, which was a bit of a surprise. Maybe we heard that wrong. So 2-9 Commando back in action again then with Private Digataki against the Commando Logistic Regiment Marine Daniel Humphreys, who's in the red. Humphreys straight away trying to take control of the ring. And as we go through the night, I think we're going to see more calculated boxing. I mean, we've got some heavyweights to come, that's for sure.
So we go back to the development category here. So these 2 gentlemen have had sort of under 10 bouts. 2 southpaws this time, facing each other.
Yeah, 2 southpaws. There is a bigger height advantage here going towards Digataki. Both young as well, 20 years of age, Digataki, 23 for Marine Humphreys. And as you say, under 10 bouts for both, but Digataki is probably the man with a bit more experience. 6 bouts, 1-5, lost 1. Humphreys has won 2 out of 2, so he's got an unbeaten record on the line. That's it.
Digataki has certainly got some power in that rear, well, both hands, frankly, but power in that rear hand. I think he did stumble Humphreys early on, but Humphreys again lands his own rear hand, so battle of the rear hands at the moment.
Both men finding a way through defences as well. That's a good right hand as well. That sort of just rocked him back there, Digataki. Just taking a moment to compose himself, I think. Some haymakers going down, says the YouTube comments right now. And at the moment, you would probably say that Marine Humphreys is a little bit more on the attack.
I think Humphreys has just got a tighter guard. Digataki's just a little bit open, a little bit square. His chin's up in the air when he throws himself, albeit very heavy throws. I think he's just slightly more open than Humphreys.
I think it's setting up very similar to our opening bout, power versus volume of shots, so to speak. Because I think Digataki has the power as we ended the first round there. Not a lot to call between the two of them once again, but Digataki looks a little bit more stunned. I think he's potentially just ate a few more shots there.
Yeah, some really solid shots going in by both boxers. I think Humphreys moving into the next round perhaps just needs to give himself a little bit of space. Digataki's just falling in with his shots, and again with his hands down, chin in the air and a little bit open. Perhaps Humphreys could just take that little half step back and catch him with that really solid counter rear hand.
Well, Humphreys has got that unbeaten record, winning 100% record on the line. He would love to make it 3 from 3. A lot of people on YouTube and Facebook think that was Daniel Humphreys' round. Let's see what round 2 brings. And once again, straight across the ring goes Humphreys, looking to close the gap. Digataki has to come out swinging a little bit.
That's better by Humphreys. Little foot feints there, just forcing Digataki to throw, and he comes back on the counter punch.
Not sure if the left-handed 3 actually got through the defence, but it certainly got a cheer inside this training centre. Digataki now starting to throw something. With the power that he's got, it seems, yet to see it fully. both men really sort of cancelling each other out. Lots of movement, lots of great footwork. Digataki a little bit back on the ropes, eats the left hand, comes back swinging. We got drenched in a little bit of sweat there as well. Good body shot.
This is good boxing by Humphries. Very measured, very controlled, using those feet nicely. He's got a really great balance. Just little edge in, little half step back and coming back with the shots. Excellent boxing.
Tracy Appleby on Facebook says she's watching from Newcastle and she's watching Daniel Humphries start to take control of this one in round 2. Reddy's better on his feet, says a YouTube comment, and I'd have to agree, a lot quicker, and he's getting himself into this attacking position, but also being able to feel his way backwards when needed as well.
Yeah, Digataki just choosing that shoulder roll as a defence, but he's perhaps not got the shoulder quite high enough, and he's very susceptible to Humphries' rear hand. Just needs to watch that.
I feel like we haven't seen Digataki's fight here at all, or sort of tactics. This has been all about Daniel Humphries. He's dominated this one in the second round. And he looks fresher as well, must be said. I don't know whether Digataki has been rocked by anything in the first or second round now, but he just looks, Humphries, like he's got more to give still.
Yeah, he seemed to control that round, the second round in particular, on his feet. So he was in the ring position, was in the middle of the ring for the majority of the time. Digataki you saw him going around the outside of the ring towards the ropes, and it just looks like Humphries is dominating. He's forcing Digataki to miss many times and countering him, and Digataki's just perhaps, you know, he's showing his fatigue and starting to sort of throw some slightly wild shots. But that said, some of those have landed. So you know, who knows?
You do get the feeling with Digataki that he just takes one punch. He does look like he's got the power. So it's something that Humphries will be very, very wary of in this position where he will feel like he's leading.
I think he should feel confident going into this round. I think good tactics would be just to stay on the edge of range now. He doesn't need to get involved. He doesn't need to risk taking any of those big shots by Digataki. Just box nice and clever.
Digataki's had to come out swinging, and he is. What that will mean for his overall fitness in the third round, we will see. But he's dominating the ring now, and he's taking the fight to the Marine. He has to. He knows he has to. I'd imagine he's had that word in the corner. If you're Digataki, you're looking for a stoppage now, aren't you?
I think so. I think he needs to do something quite special here to make up the deficit that perhaps, well, I think he has going into the last round.
Nichols is starting to get back, and again, that footwork, that much more energy from the Marine, getting to bounce around the ring, ducking when needed. Really good shot. What a left hand that is, by the way.
Now he's got some rhythm. He's very confident now. He's got that rhythm, that flow.
We are seeing a boxer putting on a show and putting on a statement here, Marine Daniel Humphries. He's already fought twice, and if it's anything like this one, you can see a big future in the military boxing world for Daniel Humphries. Digataki just looks like he's ready for the bell, I think. Yeah. He had that flurry, but after that, it's a good swing, good duck though. Big catch one, both men. I mean, Digataki's just dropped his hands, I think, now.
I think it's fatigue. You can see his mouth is open. He's sort of desperately sort of breathing as heavy, trying to get that energy to throw that one last punch, I think.
And for now, for Humphries, it's just survive, and we expect, have the judge's decision at the end of the bout number 4. And barring us being very, very surprised, I think we're looking at a win for the Commando Logistic Regiment Marine. A well-deserved one as well, by the way. That was probably the most impressive performance of the night.
Some super boxing there, and you could see him growing confidence as the bout went on. You can see the footwork coming into play towards the second and third round. Yeah, excellent boxing. You saw just towards the end of that third round there, he even had the confidence to just hold and tie his opponent up if when he got into a little bit of bother. Yeah, some really good, really mature boxing.
Well, we've seen some Marines that have stepped foot into this ring go on to bigger and better things on a national scale. That's something that I think Daniel Humphreys might have in his future. Anything from that. Absolutely well deserved for Marine Daniel Humphreys. All 3 rounds really went his way. Have to give Private Digataki a lot of credit. What he looked out of it at times. He looked dangerous still with that power. And as someone on YouTube just says, out of the Marines versus Army battle tonight, 2-0 to the Marines.
It is indeed. Bragging rights too.
Well, that's a face that I think we may see a lot more going forward in the military boxing world, whether it's inter-services, UCAF level, maybe even further than that. A really good performance from Daniel Humphreys. That's 4 bouts down then. And both boxers have been ordered to go to the doctor, by the way, who I think is Sergeant Lieutenant Alex Steventon, we're told. So they'll get checked over. Lots of them took both of them took a few heavy punches. That's no surprise. As we go to bout number 5, we've done welterweight, we've done light middleweight, we've done middleweight. Let's step it up a notch. Let's get to the light heavyweight bout, and it's 4-5 Commando Regiment against Commando Logistic Regiment. So it's Marine Connor Frawley in the red against Marine Max Green in the blue. We're going to step it up a little bit in weight, step it up a little bit in power as well, you would expect. Big smile from our official to Lucy, who knows these officials very well.
A legend, Mr. Neil Edwards, also the RNRMBA secretary, boxing secretary.
Well, there's nobody better than to call this one. Our penultimate fight of the first half of this one. 12 bouts altogether for the Royal Marine Corps Boxing Championship. The first time, by the way, it has ever been live streamed on the Forces News YouTube channel and on the Forces News Facebook page. We are very happy to be here. Let's make this the thing going forward, shall we? Support for Connor Frawley in the YouTube comments. Again, get them all in. We will read out the best we can, and I know these boxers will go back and watch their fights, and we'll read your comments. They will be very pleased with the support. Two boxers then ready to lay it on the line again. Frawley, what a stage, by the way, for your first bout.
We are so lucky. We're so lucky in the military, certainly as boxers, that we get the opportunity to box in events like this, because the majority of civilian boxers, unless they're on the international stage, do not experience this kind of show. So it's a fantastic event.
So Marine Connor Frawley's first bout, representing 4-5 Commando against Marine Max Green from Commando Logistic Regiment in the blue. Green, of course, has that advantage and experience. He's fought 3 times, lost twice, won once. So there's nothing quite like your first bout, and then the bright lights of the Royal Marine Corps Championship finals night as well.
You never quite know what's going to happen in your first bout. But it's a good start by Frawley.
Yeah, he's come out looking to make an impact, that's for sure. 2 orthodox fighters. Here we go, Frawley getting a few punches. I think most of them were deflected away by the gloves. That got through there from Green. Sorry, Frawley. So it's Frawley in the red, Green in the blue. And while we've moved up to light heavyweight, the frenetic pace has just slightly disappeared, as you'd expect.
It's a lovely rear hand by Green. Frawley just needs to be careful. He's sort of waving those hands about when he's moving his head. He's also moving his hands, and he's just dropping that front hand, giving Green the opportunity for that straight rear through. Just need to be careful.
Well, that was a right hand blocked by the gloves there, and both men starting to throw some punches. First round of feeling out period. That's a great right hand though by Green. Welcome to the ring.
Very much a round of two halves, I think. You know, we've got the exuberance and the excitement of Frawley as he came out, throwing punches, lots of effort, lots of exuberance. And I think as the round went on, clearly the fatigue sets in. And if you haven't had a bout, you don't know how to manage that fatigue. You don't know how to manage the emotions, because you've never had to do it before. And it's quite easy to go off a little bit too quickly. And I think Green did very well there to keep his composure. And you saw him sort of take control towards the latter half of that round. And that shows his just that little bit of experience and the difference that makes.
That's why it's so important that he listens to what his coaches are saying at the moment. Never been in this position. He just fought his first round. Listen to what they're saying, see what can be taken into the second round. But I will say Green really rocked him with one right at the end of the round there. Got one through. Second round begins. And Green, I think, has got a little bit more confidence of getting through the defence now. He knows he's done it once, he can do it again. Fighting back though, Frawley. Ducking and diving. Good movement. Yet to see one of these punches really connect though. Around the defence there from Green, just catching the side of the head.
Better defence from Frawley. At least he's holding his hands up. He's taking the shots on the gloves.
That's a good right hand. I think that got through.
Yeah. Just dropping them again when he throws, not necessarily when he's defending. The shots come forward, but as he throws, his hands are a little bit low.
Green looks a little bit more composed, which is what you'd expect, admittedly. That's a big strike.
Shot.
And that's going to be a standing count, the first of his career for Marine Frawley, and a big jump of celebration from Green. He knows that in a tight contest like that, or like this, the standing count could be important. We saw it in the first bout of the night. And Green now is ready to, well, I think he smells a bit of blood. Frawley fighting back.
Yeah, good response by Frawley.
That standing count is not something he would have wanted to see tonight, wanted to feel tonight, but now he has. Now he can get that behind him and get going. Green firing away though.
Yeah, Green's just using that jab well, just to measure the distance, tapping the jab in, really giving Frawley something to think about, and then coming back with that rear hand very effectively.
Really good technique from Green. He gets another one through the defence, just powering through the gloves at the minute. A little bit wild from Frawley to end the round. You have to edge that one to blue.
Yes, I'd agree.
So let's see what Frawley's got here. This is the big stage. This is his big moment. And at the moment, it may not go his way. It's still hard to call. The judges can go lots of different ways, but let us know, YouTube, Facebook, how are you calling this one? Because once again, on a night of tight fights, we are expecting an explosive final round. Need something from both men to get the win over the line.
Green, I think, just needs to maintain the tactics that he had in the last round, just measuring him with that jab, little half step back, going back with that rear hand through the middle, as Frawley just sort of drums his arms as he moves his head, and Frawley just needs to go for it.
Well, we have seen 2 victories for 4-5 Commando already tonight. Frawley will look to make it 3, but at the moment he's got a little bit of a, I'm not going to say mountain, but a hill to climb if he's going to get there.
It's like heavyweight boxing, anything can happen.
Green has the defence, what he needs, but that's a way through from Frawley there. I'm not quite sure from our position if we saw if it was scoring, but it rocked Green back a little. Green in the blue. Green coming out firing. Frawley just looking a little bit ragged.
Yeah, just launching the attacks from a tiny bit too far away. Green can read that quite easily. Oh, that's a shot.
Big shot, and a second standing count of the fight for the debutant Frawley. And it might be over. We just made it. But now Green definitely smells blood. And Green just lost his foot. It was a slip. It will say it was a slip. Actually, a little bit of pushing, the referee says.
Green just needs to be careful because Frawley's definitely got power. He does not want to be walking onto one of those shots.
I mean, Green's at the moment got the win in the bag. Don't throw it away by getting yourself into a bad position. Frawley needs the haymaker, so to speak. Hence why he was probably thrown from deep, but it hasn't worked for him so far. He went for another one there, but...
Good footwork by Green.
Yeah, really good footwork, quick from the Commando Logistic Regiment Marine. Oh, Frawley fighting for his boxing life, so to speak. Yep. I mean, one loss doesn't define you, but that opening one, you want to win. Got one through there. It's a really powerful right hand from Green. Don't get me wrong, he hit the gloves, but that was some power. And that's the end of the contest. You would have to edge it to the blue corner. What a really ballsy performance, let's say, from Frawley, who took some licks there, but he fought back in the end.
Yeah, I mean, in this environment, with the Royal Marines Commandos, you would expect that grit and resilience, but in the ring, it's very hard, certainly with people watching, for him to come back and continue to fight and put all of, everything he's got on the line after those 2 counts. That's, all credit to Frawley, but I think this is Green's night.
The nerves at this point for Frawley. I mean, yes, we believe Green's taking it, but he doesn't know at this point. That first moment that you step up with the referee and have his hand on your arm. Anybody who steps into a ring will know how this feels. That hopeful.
Ladies and gentlemen, please show your appreciation to both boxers. And the winner of bout number 5 by unanimous decision, blue-green.
Well, that is what we expected for Max Green, the Commando Logistic Regiment Marine. And we are 5 bouts in, and we've had 5 very, very enthralling bouts. Bouts that you can just take a look into and see the tactics and see the boxers that could potentially be something. I mean, Green is only 20 years of age. We've seen some real young talent on show tonight.
Yeah, we absolutely have, and the Royal Navy Royal Marines boxing coach Nick McGarry in the blue corner there, just helping his boxer out, will certainly be keeping an eye on what's going on in the ring, and I think there's an awful lot of talent, as you say, moving forward, and some really exciting boxers that we'll see again, no doubt.
Well, we've had 5 bouts, and now is the moment we're going to take a slight break because we are going to have some presentations. The Terry Marsh Trophy will be given to the Royal Marines Boxer of the Season, and the Chatham Gong will be given for the outstanding coaching contribution. So we'll hand over to our voice, who is letting the world know, letting the arena know, and we'll be back for more boxing very, very shortly. Well-deserved awards for the boxer of the season and the coaching contribution of the season in the Royal Marines. And I'm sure the coaches have made big contributions after what we've seen tonight with these very young, powerful, attacking boxers. Time for bout 6. One more bout before the interval. Let's end it with how we started, with a bang with the drums. Let's end with a bang in the fighting, shall we? We're at light heavyweight again, this time at the intermediate, so not necessarily the development boxers. It is Marine Max Pentit from 4-5 Commando against Marine Jack Foles from 4-2 Commando. Age is a little bit older now, 24 for Pentit, 26 for Foles, and I mean height is nothing between them, but these guys have a bit more experience. We have a lot more than 11 bouts. Pentit's won 5, lost 7, drew 1. Very racy draw, so I'm very intrigued by that one. And Foles won 2 and lost 2. So two men who have been in the ring. This isn't a debut this time. This is two men who know how to throw punches and take punches. For copyright reasons, we're not going to acknowledge the song too much, but it's a good song. It's a good song. And already in the blue corner, Foles is ready and raring to go in the ring. Just a little bit longer for Pentit, making his opponent wait. Mind games already. Now's the time, if you are watching on YouTube or on Facebook, if you're enjoying the night, if you're enjoying what fantastic boxing these guys are putting on, make sure you do comment and let us know. Fever pitch at the minute. The song's got everyone ready to go. Got these two boxers ready to go. This might be an explosive end to the first half of this. It's Marine Max Pentit. Light heavyweight once again then for our 6th bout of the evening. Halfway through what has been a very, very entertaining night already. Pentit in the red, Foles in the blue. And well, 4-5 Commando tasted their first defeat of the night in the last bout with the debutant Frawley. Pentit will look to right that wrong and momentum here in the red. Good uppercut there from Foles. Referee not happy with Pentit's pulling, I think. Foles going on the attack. Pentit bouncing but not moving necessarily. Lots of body shots as well. And again.
Ooh, felt those from here, I don't know about you.
And a left jab too. Really strong start from Marine Jack Foles here.
Prentice, so really spearing that jab out, multiple jabs, just finding his range and setting up the rest of his combinations. But actually, Fowles is not worried too much about that. He's starting with the shots to the body. If he can just come up and finish with shots to the head and then move off at an angle, I think I think he can really sort of dominate here.
We talk a lot about combinations when they step between the ropes. I mean, Fowles has just, he waits a second and then he's explosive with 4, 5, 6 punches from nowhere to the body already.
Single shots, even 2 shots combinations, they're relatively easy to defend, they're easy to predict, easy to see, but as soon as you put the shots together in sort of 3s and 4s, in bunches, it becomes very difficult to defend.
Boxing is about momentum in a lot of ways. And I think Foles knows that the body is there to hit right now. Just testing his opponent to drop his arms a little bit so he can lay into the face.
Yeah, and it takes a lot of energy out here as well. If you take a decent shot to the solar plexus or to the ribs, it certainly takes your puff away.
Well, I mean, it was blues round, but a really good end for Prentice. Just caught one right at the end, just to let Foles know he's there. He is there.
Yeah, Foles just taking that extra shot too many as he disengages, perhaps because he's coming back in straight lines, dropping his hands. If he can come off to the side, keep his hands nice and high, then he'll make this a lot easier for himself.
Well, I mean, just looking at the 2 boxers, and I'm aware that Prentice is well within his rights to take the seat and take the break, but Foles is still on his feet. He is ready to go. That little bit of attitude, we're talking mind games. If you're Prentice and you look over and see he hasn't even taken a seat, does that get into your head?
I think sometimes some boxers choose to stand. I certainly chose to stand because I was worried I'd never get up again if I sat down.
Explosive from both men. Prentice realising he has to throw some more, but those body shots are just a brutal blow. This is a battle between these 2 men at the moment. Go to the face now.
Yeah, Prentice favouring those long straight shots, but actually Fowles is not letting him land them. He's not letting them through, and he's too quick inside to allow him to land the shots. It's really good tactics by Fowles here.
We're seeing a bit of speed versus reach, because I think Prentice does have more of a reach, as we've shown now, with a bit of a wild punch, but you can have your reach, you can have your long punches, you're not going to reach it if you can't catch him. Prentice at the moment is catching every body blow.
And they're not tickles either, are they? We can hear them, we can feel them from here. They must be taking something out of Prentice.
And as we go through this bout, and as we get towards potentially round 3, if we get there, those body blows hurt every little bit more. Very similar to the first round at the moment. Some really great combinations from Jack Foles.
Yeah, now he's switching the attack. He's softened him off the body. He's getting him to drop his elbows. He's now switching the attack to the head, throwing some really, really heavy hooks in there. Great tactics.
Referee just taking a second, I think telling Foles just to lift his chin a little bit.
Lift his punches, I think, a little bit below the belt.
Well, he's going for body shots, but you've got to be careful of how low you go on the body. End of the second round. Again, blue will favour it. And Foles will be very happy so far. I mean, we saw a very good performance from Daniel Humphries. Foles is putting in a similarly sort of suffocating performance in a lot of ways. Consistent body blows, sticking to one tactic but working it each time.
Yeah, absolutely. He's negating that height difference. He's really making it difficult for Pentith to stay at range, to keep him at range. And as I said, he's starting to switch the attack back up to the head now, and really significant hooks.
Facebook comment talking about the height difference between the two. And actually, I will say, from what we're told, there's only 2 centimetres difference. I'm not quite sure on that one. There seems to be a little... I mean, I don't know if Pentith has grown since he was measured, but at the moment it's working out for Foles, because the height and reaching over at the moment isn't working for the 4-5 commando boxer. He's got the reach, but he's not using it at the moment. One, that's a left, he got a left in there.
Pentith just needs to he's smothering his own work to a certain extent, albeit Foles is helping that fact. He just needs to, he's falling in with those straight shots. He perhaps just needs to use his height and his range, throw the straight shots, good distance in order to do that, and make Foles fall short when he throws to the body.
I mean, Foles has been energetic in these first 2 rounds, but for the first time we're starting to see it fade and falter, and we're seeing Pentith come flying out. It's a round he has to win, he knows that. It's a bit of a standoff at the moment. The first time I think Foles ate some blows there. Comes firing back with some more of his own, and that shot to the head, he's starting to open up now. Again, just catching a few. Much more even round in the final round. Starting to see punches thrown a lot more from Max Pentith. Must be very difficult. I mean, we've spoken about the potential height, but to deal with it's an awkward opponent in a lot of ways for Pentith.
Yeah, absolutely. And I say he has to keep it long, but at the moment he's smothering his own work. He's getting a little bit too close when he's throwing his shots, allowing Foles to get into range, throw those pretty sickening body shots. Perhaps a little bit of a half step back for Pentith would allow him to throw those, to land those excellent straight shots that he's got. But he needs to do more in the closing stages of this bout.
More body shots again. Big black and blue his body, Pentith, by the end of this one. Caught him in the face as well there, but Pentith firing back into the ropes. That's the end of another absorbing bout. Foles raises his glove at the end. He thinks he's won this one, and I don't disagree.
It's a really good tactical display by Foles. We don't know the result, but I'd be very surprised if he doesn't come away as a victor.
First boxer of the night to really target the body as well. We've seen a lot of big shots flying in, but to really have a game plan of targeting the body, Foles has caught trumps there. Referee calls both men in. So Foles 1-2, lost 2, 50% record so far. While Pentith has lost more than he's won, but has won more than Foles. I am very much enjoying the fact that the judges and the announcer is leaving these boxers just to wait a little bit, have the tension.
Please show your appreciation for both boxers. And the winner of bout number 6, by unanimous decision, Blue Foles.
Marine Jack Foles makes it 3 wins out of 5 in his career, and a really good tactical win. He had a game plan, he stuck to it, he got his reward. A lot of credit to Marine Pentith getting in there. But Foles with his body work and his ability to keep throwing combination after combination, almost like a I mean, I don't quite know how to describe it. There will be a short interval. Both men having a pitch or two, and we've seen 6 very, very impressive bouts so far. We've got 6 more to go, and with the heavyweights to come, the super heavyweights to come as well, we haven't seen a stoppage yet. We've still got some time to go. So we're going to have an interval now. We are going to have an interval, but don't think the boxing action's done, because we've got a very special for you to fill this interval. Some of the best boxing we've seen this year across the military. Me and Lucy will be back to watch more in this ring, to watch 6 more, considering, I mean, if the power stays on, and we will see you then. So don't go anywhere. More boxing to come.
Moments of the 2023 Army final, and what a final we've had. Diggins again, 2 great punches, 3 great punches, 4 great punches, and that could be enough. Great support from the para, of course. Gets in a couple of early jabs there, and that's a one to the head. Good start from the para here. Oh, that's a good one. That's a really good scoring punch from Mason there. Little left and a right, but Murdoch responds. It's hotting up. Mason certainly the more aggressive of the two in these final moments of the last round here. Needs to be. Has Murdoch done enough? That was a good combination from him, a left and a right.
Blue is the winner.
Both making their mark early on in this round. That's a really good punch from Warrington there. Oh, and another one, a good one to the head. Warrington doing really well here. I think he's taking his first round. Another good one, another jab. So here we go then, with Cummins having to come back, and he has come back. He's come back all guns blazing, as we expected, but Cummins not wasting any time. And another great punch though from Warrington. Got one on the head there.
By unanimous decision, red is the winner.
Again, nice work from Cuthbert, putting his man under pressure.
That was a good body shot. I felt that from here.
Yes. Nice work from Dolan, but Cuthbert comes back at him. And again from Dolan, that was good work from him, from the man in blue. Cuthbert, as you say, but he comes back with a great little combination with a left and a right. And I think this is veering towards Cuthbert here, and certainly the fans away to our right agree.
Those body shots are taking their toll a little bit, I think. Great
He
body
really
shot
has,
from Cuthbert.
and the referee has called for a count. And at the end of this third round, that's absolutely crucial for the man in red.
Red is the winner.
Yeah, it's a unanimous win for Cuthbert. Cocker maybe senses his opportunity here. Bit of a wild flail going in from Andrews. Maybe Cocker's got this. Both men absolutely giving 100% and giving their all, but at the moment it's Kieran Cocker who seems to have the upper hand here. What can Andrews do? Another great punch there from Cocker. Is he turning this one round?
Andrews has just lost his shape a little bit. He's just lost his head, I think. He needs to get back to his boxing.
Yeah, Hocker again.
By a slick split decision, Blue is the winner.
At the tender age of 22. So these two men get set into straight away, and look at Walker going for his man. Immediately he's got him on the ropes in the corner. This is the sort of parachute regiment boxing you kind of expect. Lovesey getting a couple of jabs over to the head. And again, that's a really good jab from him. And an uppercut. He's really rattled his man here. Oh, another good one from Lovesey there. And Walker really felt that. Oh, and again, Lovesey again. This is a great exchange between these two. Lovesey going for it. Both of these men really giving it their all now as they approach the final 30 seconds of this final round. And it's all over.
Blue is the winner.
And it goes to Ryan Walker by a split decision. And again, the right and a left.
Is that left hook again?
Yeah. Very effective, isn't it? Marion just jabbing away. My word, if that had connected.
He's boxing really nice, Drury. I just think he's almost opting to make this a little bit more difficult than he needs to.
So Lovesey's throwing the more shots. He's got the more volume, but Drury's got that quality.
And again, three brilliant punches there. But this is a great end to the fight from both of these men. Look at them, absolutely giving it 100%. Terrific stuff, and that's the end of the fight.
Blue is the winner.
And it goes to the man in blue. Sizing up his man. Straight in there goes the para. Jones with a chance, of course, to repeat, as you say, James, what he did back in 2018. But Farrell fighting back well here. Under a bit of pressure at the moment from Jones. Got him on the ropes. Jones is really going for it.
I think with 30 seconds to go, he needs to gamble here, Farrell. You know,
he's not throwing enough.
Well, Jones is getting stuck in, and he's got him down, but he feels it was below the belt. He's taking the count, though. He felt that punch there from Jones was below the belt. It was. Tony Jones knows that if he can see this one through, the Parachute Regiment 2 Para will be victorious. In these last few moments of the round, Jones really going for him. Farrell having to defend.
Blue is the winner.
It is a unanimous points decision in favour of Lance Corporal Tony Jones. The second time he has been responsible for a victory. London again, he takes one and another and another. Really good spell from Danny Cool here. Might just be enough to give him the round.
Red is the winner.
And it goes to Danny Cool, their third win of the night. Throwing things around, aren't they? Super fitness on show here. Diggins getting in with the body shots. Good ones to the head as well. Sets the fans on their feet. It's great work from both men, but Diggins is really digging in here. round. These are the last moments of the 2023 Army final. And what a final we've had. Diggins, again, 2 great punches, 3 great punches, 4 great punches. And that could be enough to give Barry Diggins the victory.
Red is the
It has gone to Diggins. He claims it by a split decision. It went right to the wire. And away we go then for the first of these rounds. Great start from the Navy girl, from Brittany Walker, straight in there, very quickly, making these early points count.
Yeah, we've got 2 southpaws here, so, you know, they certainly, you don't get the advantage sometimes of boxing an orthodox boxer. We've got Brittany doing exactly what she needs to do on the front foot. She works it from body to head just to get inside that taller range.
It's a picture of concentration on her face at the moment, you can see. And Neve Brooks doing really well at the moment, holding her position in the ring, but takes one, takes another hook, and that'll be it surely. I can't see how this is going to continue, because that's 3 times now that Walker has caught her with the left hook and then gone for the kill.
Ladies and gentlemen, the referee stopped the contest in round 2. And the winner, in the blue corner, representing
Great start for Walker then. 4th contest of tonight's 9 bouts, Bill, in this Inter-Services Championship. Remember, we've got a couple of walkovers which have gone in the Army's favour, and with the Army already having won 2 tonight, this win, if it's a win for Jordan Shaw, could win the title for the Army. So really good performance from both men. Andrews gets another left and a right, getting through the Shaw defence. Got one through there, did Shaw. Scoring punch back, he's fighting back in this. Last few seconds then of this welterweight contest. Shaw really going for it, trying to get some scoring punches in. Might be too late, it's all over.
And the winner of bout number 4 by unanimous decision, in the red corner,
well, there we go.
What do we know, John? That's why we're not judges.
Is there such a thing as a dead heat in a boxing match?
Unfortunately not. Someone's got to win, but I don't envy the judges.
If anything's ever going to be a split decision, this one is. I cannot see this being a unanimous on either side, because both of them have given absolutely everything.
Response to an uppercut by Wright.
And continue to do so. There's been some terrific bouts. This is surely the bout of the night so far, Lucy.
Oh, without a doubt. Just listen to the crowd, you know. What an entertaining fight. What spirit, what courage. Great display of boxing. Great military value.
Last 5 seconds. Who's going to take this? These guys have absolutely won it in the ring. Both of them. What a fight. And look how they embrace each other at the end. Such mutual respect. And everybody here is on their feet, and absolutely right. Everyone on their feet, applauding these 2 men who've given absolutely everything in a brilliant, brilliant contest. Neither deserves to lose.
And the winner of bout number 8 by a split points decision, in the blue corner.
Well, Joel Hassan takes it. But my goodness me, it must have been so close. But now it's time for the boxers of the British Army to celebrate.
Forces.
UCAF hit back with their second try.
Beautiful try for the UK Armed Forces.
Now the power, and it's another try.
Welcome back. Are we refreshed? Are we ready to go again? That's 6 bouts down and 6 very, very entertaining bouts down. 6 more to come. And I mean, we mentioned it just before the break. We've seen the middleweights, we've seen the light heavyweights. The big punches are ready to come. Super heavyweight, heavyweight to come. And I mean, we just saw a promo for the UCAF Rugby Union World Cup that is coming up soon on our channels. But tonight we're seeing the top quality of the Royal Marines, and we've seen very close bouts in that first 6.
It's been really impressive. I was just talking to R&R&B secretary, the boxing secretary, and we were just saying, you know, how fantastic it is that we've got such strength in depth. And this is the Royal Marines, you know, the Royal Navy team and the Royal Marines team together. You know, it's a real positive step forward and really exciting future moving forward to next season.
Could you explain, like you mentioned then, Navy and Marines together? Some people might confuse why it's not 2 teams, etc. Could you just talk a little bit about why?
So the Royal Navy includes the Royal Marines, and we're seeing here clearly this is the Royal Marines Corps Championships, but they also form part of the Royal Navy boxing squad. So Navy and Royal Marines box together on the squad. Okay.
So we are going to see some of these young boxers head into services in the future, I'm sure. I mean, I'm talking Daniel Humphreys, I'm talking Max Foles. I'm expecting it. So let's look ahead to the 6 come in. I mean, we don't know too much about the boxers, it should be said, but we do expect big punches. And I mean, I'm going to point out a couple of people that, for anybody who watched our preview feature a few days ago for this, we spoke to Marine George Blake and we spoke to Marine, let me find his name, Sacha Zacharidis. And both spoke about the nerves of a big occasion like this. And for Blake, this is his first Marine Corps Championship. Does that play into it?
Yeah, most definitely. I think, you know, it's one of those things you learn to manage, and some people deal with it very well, some people find it a real challenge, and it's those nerves that you either use to sort of really drive your performance, to keep you sharp, to keep you, you know, on your toes, or it can sometimes debilitate you. You know, you can really drain your energy, you can walk up those steps and feel like your legs are made of lead, and it, you know, part of that experience is learning how to use that adrenaline, use those nerves.
I mean, we saw it with Marine Frawley, who's unfortunately lost his first bout tonight, and sort of not making an immediate impact rocked him and he went further back and back. I think we're about ready to go for our next 6. So if you are watching on YouTube or on Facebook, make sure you are commenting along, letting us know who you're supporting. There is a team title on the line tonight. We don't have the official scores on the doors as they are so far, but we will have a winner by the end of it. So let us know who you're supporting. And as you can hear, bout number 7's coming out. Cruiserweight time. And it is Lance Corporal Clark Guttridge from 40 Commando Regiment, or 40 Commando, taking on Marine Tommy Tolhurst. And a hometown boy is Tommy Tolhurst. From right here at the Commando Training Centre, Tommy Tolhurst in the blue. And of course, as we mentioned, Guttridge in the red. So let's take a moment to see what these two have got. Taylor the tape so far. 28 years old, Marine Tolhurst. 187 centimetres tall, 3 centimetres in it, so I don't think we'll see a huge difference. 3 bouts to his name, 1-2, lost 1. And for Marine Guttridge, more experience, 7 bouts to his name, 3 wins, 4 defeats. So both men have tasted victories, both men have tasted defeats. Tonight, one will feel one and one will feel the other, unless we get a draw. We haven't seen a draw yet. It's very rare you get a draw. they've put draw on here, so I don't know if it's possible. I don't know. Maybe if the lights go out again. So that is one way to bounce us back after an interval, isn't it? Get the hometown boy out, get the crowd going again. I'm sure they'll be fully behind Tommy Tolhurst tonight. The Marine, who is looking for his third victory from the Commando Training Centre, who have won one tonight. Caulfield got a victory, a very good victory, in fact.
It's a Cruiserweight intermediate contest, boxed over 3 2-minute rounds. Between the red corner and representing Party Commander, Lance Corporal Guthridge. And in the blue corner, representing the Commando Training Centre, Marine Tolhurst.
Fighting in front of his friends and his fellow Marines here at the Commando Training Centre. Teresa Allen on YouTube says we're supporting the 10th bout, the Red Marine, which is Marine Joe Slatter. So we'll hear from his aunt and uncle later throughout the night, I'm sure, when he gets in the ring. But we're going to focus on our first bout of the second half. It is Lance Corporal Guthridge against Marine Tolhurst. And Tolhurst happy to take the ring, but it is Guthridge throwing the early punches. This is a Cruiserweight bout, and for anyone who doesn't know the differences in the weights and what that brings, what can we expect from the Cruiserweights?
So, Cruiserweight's 86 kilos or below. There's a lot of power here, but still with speed, and so it's a dangerous combination.
Well,
you can see from both of these boxers, both have a lot of power.
Both have a lot of power and are looking for the right opportunity to use it. Jab through the defence there from Guthridge. Then we've got Guthridge and Tolhurst then. Tolhurst, as we mentioned, the hometown boy getting the support. This is his big night in a lot of ways, but it's everyone's big night in that ring. Good right hand from Tolhurst.
Tolhurst is just holding the centre. Well, in fact, he's putting Guthridge on the ropes. And Guthridge, he's landing the shots. He's got really capable defences. He's not getting hit very much. But that perception of him being on the ropes suggests that, he is being dominated by Tolhurst. He just needs to be careful what perception that the judges are seeing there, and perhaps move his feet a little bit further into the centre.
Boxing is a sport of opinions, as you said to me during the break, and a judge's opinion is valued very highly, as you'd expect. And that position, that staking the claim of the ring, which is what Tolhurst has been doing in this first round, might just see him favoured on the judge's score sheet. That's a great scoring punch. And at the end of the first round, not a lot between them, but Tolhurst will be happy with his work there.
Yeah, I think you're right. There weren't a great difference between the numbers of punches landed there. I think the decent shot on the bell there might just have swayed the judges, but I think certainly his position in the ring looked dominant.
Well, as we said, both men have tasted defeat and have tasted victories, and they'll be looking in these positions as we're taking a break between the rounds of what they did wrong before, what they did right before. Lots of things go through a boxer's head in this moment, because when you're in the ring, not a lot goes through your head apart from maybe some punches flying your way. And if they can just take a moment to get their head straight, we'll see what the second round will bring.
Really good boxing by Guthridge. He's got a lovely style, he's got a nice head movement, he's got lovely flow and rhythm. Just needs to do that from a bit further towards the centre of the ring.
We've seen a lot of bouts decided on movement and footwork already, and Guthridge seems to have very good footwork, but puts himself back into positions and a little bit on the back foot at times.
Yeah, a little bit negative.
Punches thrown both sides. Neither really getting through the defensive gloves at the moment. That did from Tolhurst. Right in front of us in the corner, both of them are. And Guttridge once again backed up into the ropes a little bit.
He needs to get out of there. Certainly needs to get out of there.
Tolhurst naming the left and the right.
Guttridge not even being quite reactive. He's sort of allowing Tolhurst to lead the way. And it's not really giving Tolhurst much to worry about. Great shots there.
He's letting Tolhurst fight back his fight, and Tolhurst is more than done that there. A standing count for Guttridge. Count of 7 and we'll get underway again then, but Guttridge comes out swinging. Wounded animal perhaps.
So he just needs to keep his head. He's pushing himself back on the ropes there, giving himself the space.
Backing off a little. He's took a really big right hand there, and I mean, if he didn't fall into his opponent, he might have fell to the mat. The referee will let this play on. Guttridge, as you say, backing off, and that will change the judges' perception. They want to see attacking, brave boxing. And while every man who steps in the ring right now is very, very brave for doing so, Guttridge just backing off a little too much, allowing Tolhurst to fight his fight once again. That's a really great right hand. The referee right in the middle. It was a great right hand, and the second standing count of the round for Guttridge. And we have our first stoppage of the night. Lance Corporal Guttridge cannot go on anymore, and it's a win for Marine Tommy Tolhurst, and the hometown boy has come good there. Very good performance.
It was an excellent performance, very dominant, and I think, you know, being the referee is a very difficult job to do. He is responsible for the safety of the boxer. There were a few boos in the crowd on the stoppage there, and it was unfortunate because it was at the end of the second round. You know, he maybe had Guttridge maybe had another minute to collect himself, but I think, you know, his body language was such that he didn't have much response to Tolhurst's continued pressure.
Well, we've seen the first stoppage of the night, and as you said, the referee has to think about the safety. That is the most important thing to happen tonight.
Please show your appreciation to both boxers.
Huge chance of Tommy for Tommy Tolhurst.
And the winner of bout number 7 by the referee stopping the contest, Blue Tolhurst.
Huge round of applause and cheer as the hometown boy picks up his victory, the second for the Commando Training Centre of the night. A great performance from Marine Tommy Tolhurst, and he will be one of the talk of the town round here for the next week or two, I'd imagine.
I just think, you know, it was just a very measured performance. You know, he knew what he was doing. He took control of the ring from the outset. He knew how to dominate. He didn't do anything particularly special, but I think that's the sign of a but I think that's the sign of a really good operator. He looks like he's got all the time in the world. He looks like he's dominating without much effort, and I think actually it's a fantastic performance.
So the Rolls-Royce boxing performance of the night for Tommy Tolhurst. Well, a good performance from him, and we mentioned Marine George Blake. Lance Corporal George Blake, I should say. It does say Marine on the programme given to us, but when we spoke to him the other day, we did have it confirmed. He is a Lance Corporal, so we will get that right. Lance Corporal Clark. Lance Corporal Blake taking on Marine James Ramshaw from 4-5 Commando. We've seen 4-5 Commando a lot tonight. This is a night that they could make a statement. They have won twice. They have also lost twice. So all over to Ramshaw to put the trend one way or the other.
Certainly, there's a lot of heritage in 4-5 Commando. They produce fantastic boxers year after year.
Well, this is our first heavyweight contest of the night. Heavyweight novice contest. Both men have only fought once. Both men have won once. So we mentioned unbeaten runs. Another one will fall here. Now Blake in the blue does have, we're told, a height advantage, a bigger height advantage than perhaps we've seen all night. Although I will say Pentive and Fold might surprise a lot of us, because that wasn't what it said on the sheet, I'm sure. But first in the ring then, in the red corner, is Marine James Ramshaw. If you're supporting Marine James Ramshaw, let us know in the comments. If you're supporting Lance Corporal George Blake, let us know in the comments. George Blake from Commando Logistic Regiment against the 4-5 Commando Boxer. Fist bumps to our announcer. He looks ready, Blake. Blake's one of the men who told us that he was nervous. He said he got up to the gate and the nerves just hit him. And I'm sure he's feeling nervous now, because these are big lights. Yes, the preliminary rounds have been happening, but not to this extent. First heavyweight contest then, and this might just be a show stealer. Don't want to put the jinxes on it, but two men very confident, two men who have got nothing to lose in a lot of ways. Their first Royal Marine Corps Championships for both of them. Got nothing to lose. Put it all out there in the ring. I do think Marine Blake wins the facial hair war, because that is one mighty moustache. And we're starting with frenetic blows. Both men just getting a couple scoring punches. It must be very difficult for the judges to keep track of this.
This is a pretty fast pace for heavyweight boxing.
Yeah, I'm not sure how long this will last, heavyweight boxing like this. Both men standing toe to toe and not giving an inch. Blake now just starting to compose himself, trying to push his red opponent further back, but well, Ramshaw's not giving the inch. Ramshaw is determined to hold the ring.
Blake making really good use of those straight shots. He's using the jab to measure. He's taking his feet back, giving himself space. Ramshaw is just not, like you say, not giving him an inch. He's hunting him down. He's got nice high hands. He's just maybe launching in from a little bit too far away, but he's got some fantastic two right hands landed there.
Huge chance of Rambo fill the arena, by the way. So if you want to know who they're supporting, there's your answer. Who are you supporting? Let us know in the comment sections on YouTube and on Facebook. We'll read out the best. And once again, Blake is just kind of being backed up a little bit onto the ropes. We've already seen this in the last bout with Tolhurst and Guttridge. And Ramshaw is ready for fighting now. The facial expression from Ramshaw there, by the way.
There's a lot of grit in those shots. You can see it, can't you? Every power is going to every one of those shots.
But if we're talking scoring punches, there isn't a lot between them. It's a high standard of boxing right now.
It is, considering the relative experience. It's a fantastic show.
Well, one round down. Neither side really landed the big punch. Neither side landed the big blow. They felt each other out. But Ramshaw just picking his chest up a little bit there. I wonder which one fancies this. He looks ready for a war, Ramshaw. I mean, I'm glad I don't get in the ring, because I wouldn't want to be opposite him right now.
Me neither. And this is about, there's a conservation of energy piece here. Ramshaw is slowly edging his way around the ring. Blake is on his toes. He's moving in and out, and there's a lot of energy expended doing that, whereas perhaps Ramshaw's conserving his energy, and we'll see a little bit more action from him.
Round two. Let's box. big right hand from Ramshaw. Blake trying to get some combinations going, but Ramshaw's got that powerful right hand just over and over, railing it. I mean, we saw some tactical battles. This is less tactical from Ramshaw and more, I am going to fight you. Just a bit of a backhand there caught Ramshaw. Referee admonishes Blake.
So he's got really simple but effective style, Ramshaw. He's got nice high hands. He's comfortable to take the shots as he goes in to land his own 2 or 3 combinations. But that rear hand is pretty, it's pretty eye-catching.
You can have the defence, but you can't stop a right hand like that sometimes.
No, and even if it does hit you on the gloves, you know, it still pushes you back and knocks you back.
Blake is having to deal with a bit of a terrier at the moment from Ramshaw, who's throwing big punch after big punch, but at the same time, to give Blake a lot of credit, scoring punches, Blake's getting them in.
He's throwing more, he's landing more, he's got good straight shots. He just perhaps needs to move his feet out of the way just that little bit and keep off the ropes. It gives him the space to do that.
Well, we've seen one referee stoppage. I think Ramshaw's looking for another one here. But Blake isn't going to give him that. He's going to have to earn it. If you're Blake in this position and you're against an opponent who is, I'll be honest, going big punch after big punch after big punch, how do you defend it?
It's the worst type of opponent, honestly. You just won't go away. And the only way you can do it is to be really cute with the feet. You've got to throw nice quick punches. You've got to come off to the side. You've got to put as much of the ring behind you as you can.
Again, over and over, and Blake's back into the ropes. Don't think many of them connected as we end the second round. But once again, you would have to say it's very close, but I call him a terrier, the warrior in the red corner is, well, he's quite frightening, to be honest.
It's terrifying, doesn't he? And you know, I think it's effective. It's perhaps a little raw, but effective. And Blake perhaps is the better boxer. He's got the better shots, the better shape. Perhaps his chin's a little bit too high in the air, but he just can't cope with the power and the relentlessness of Ramshaw at the moment.
I think while there's a clear clash of styles, it might actually be the tightest bout we've seen so far. Yes, I understand Ramshaw will take the headlines, let's say, eye-catching boxing, but as you said, Blake is getting just as many scoring punches in with jabs and whatnot, so it's all down to this third round. Who is going to win the 8th bout of the night, Ramshaw or Blake? And if you expected Ramshaw to change tact and maybe get a bit more cautious, well, that was never going to happen.
This is better by Blake. He's changing the angle. He's putting the ring behind him.
It's a big right hand, though.
It is.
Blake trying to hit and move, I think, a little bit.
No, much better tactics. And even coming forward there, because he's got the ability to do so, he's got the space. Ramshaw just relentless.
A lot of comments on YouTube talking about the actual punches, and it should be said, yes, they look hard and they are powerful, but a lot of them are hitting gloves. A little bit of a jostling in the corner. Defensively, hands up is very, very good from Ramshaw. The right hand tried to get through there. That left hand did. They fall into our laps. Well, Blake is hanging on in there, I will say that. As you said, Blake looks the better boxer.
He's a better technician, perhaps not as much power, and actually it's so difficult to box against someone who just won't go away.
Well, as we said, Ramshaw has won 1 out of 1. I wonder if it was a referee stoppage with the way he's boxing. He did catch a really good right hand there. Nearly knocked his moustache off. Again, going for that right hand. Good defensive work, though, from Blake. And we are into the final bit, and if Ramshaw's going to get the stoppage, it's now or never. We'll go to a judge's decision, and out of all the ones tonight, some of them we've had an inkling that it could be anyone's guess.
And again, we talked about that subjectivity of scoring, and judges have their preferences. You know, they follow the rules to a certain extent, but there's definitely some wiggle room in there. And some judges prefer the technical, the scoring shots, the numbers of shots. Some judges prefer the kind of dominance of position.
The attitude of it to just really fight, like you say. I mean, people will be watching at home now, and you've got people who will like the more traditional style. It's probably the better way to say it. You've got some people that want to see knockouts, and the judges are the same. The judges are all just boxing fans, admittedly with a bit more experience. Time for the all-important decision. Red, blue, 45 Commando, so 4-5 Commando or Commando Logistic Regiment. Tension. Not sure anybody in this arena knows exactly which hand's going to go up here. As I said earlier, I'm really enjoying the announcer building the tension here. Not sure if he's actually right. He is writing, but the boxers must be absolutely... I mean, we said about nerves.
Ladies and gentlemen, please show your appreciation to both boxers. And the winner of bout number 8 by a split decision. In the red corner.
Well, explosive power beats traditional feet on this night anyway. A win for Marine Ramshaw over Marine Blake. 45 Commando, 4-5 Commando back in the winning ways. Very, very enjoyable bout in a clash of styles. Kind of what boxing's about in a lot of ways. You don't want them all to be same. And we haven't seen that tonight. Rambo living up to his nickname a little bit in the ring there. YouTube comment says, standing by for the commentary team to have a go at the Greek surname that's coming up next. So I'm going to go Zacharidas. It could be wrong. If you want to phonetically spell that out for us in the comments, we'll try and get it right. This next bout does have two names. We're going to go give it our best for bout number 9 of the evening. And we've seen heavyweight there. We've seen big punches. Thank you, Marine Ramshaw. Super heavyweight time. We have got more light middleweight, heavyweight and middleweight to come, but this is super heavyweight novice time. And let's see what this brings. Again, if you are watching on YouTube, on Facebook, make sure you guys are commenting along. I know a few of you are here. We've got a very good turnout tonight, which is fantastic, not just here, but obviously on our digital channels as well. And it is time then for the super heavyweights. Lance Bombardier, I'm going to give it a go. Isame Tuaga from 2-9 Commando, the Army soldier, against Marine Sacha Zacharidas, I think. We're told excellent pronunciation, so we'll take it. Whether we stick to it, we'll see. But it should be a really, really good bout. So it's Tuaga in the red, Zacharidas in the blue. And as you can see, both men are on the larger side. Super heavyweights. This is the big boys now. We've already seen one referee stoppage. It's going to take just one real big punch from these two, I think. They are Look, let's say powerful. Let's be nice. Let's say powerful. That is power. So it's another Army versus Marines. And for anyone who is confused or joined us late, 29 Commando are involved for the first time tonight, which is a fantastic for them. Army, but also Marines, kind of. And we are into our 9th bout of the night then. Tuaga versus Zacharidis.
It's a super heavyweight novice contest, boxed over 3 2-minute rounds. Between in the red corner and representing 29 Commando, Lance Tuaga. And in the blue corner, representing 4 Commando, Marine Zacharidis.
Both men have very good records, it should be said. 5 for Tuaga, 4 wins and 1 loss. While Zacharidis, 6 wins out of 6. So 2 men with a lot of confidence, a lot of form. Zacharidis is what they're bringing down to, won't we? We'll go with Zacharidis. Trust the expert. First round then. Both men straight into the middle. Left hand there by Zacharidis. Going for the body there. Tuaga, it was well blocked. And Zacharidis nailed a few through the defence there. Tuaga's got a left hand now. Both men opening salvos.
Again, another southpaw versus orthodox. Although Zacharidis perhaps just needs to move to his right a little bit more. He's walking onto that backhand to Tuaga.
Seen Tuaga go for the body a few times. Zacharidis joining him in that. Both men looking to change it up if needed. That left hand right he went for, both missed but looked dangerous. Both men throwing big punches but not connecting at the moment. You've seen Ramshaw go big in the last bout. This one is a bit more control from both men.
Yeah, they're just trying to find the range, just trying to sort of feel the way into the round. Not a huge amount of fireworks just yet.
Good body shot from Zacharidis. Tuaga right on the ropes. And at this weight level, super heavyweight, it's about staying in it really in a lot of ways. You don't want to get knocked out in the first round, and these men can do that.
And you don't very often see the movement, the sort of explosive footwork that you see clearly in the lighter weights. But there's still a lot of skill here. It's just they punch very hard.
Zacharidis is really dominating it now. Tuaga just trying to stay alive in this. At the end of the first round, saved by the belt perhaps, Tuaga there. Good showing from the man in blue.
Zacharidis certainly busier in that round, threw the more shots. Although Tuaga just landed, a couple of shots to the body, as you say, just perhaps trying to encourage Zacharidis to drop his hands a little bit.
Zacharidis 6 from 6. He's looking to make it 7. And it's that sort. We talk about momentum and coming into it with that form and that confidence. You've seen it in that first round. He wants to fight his own fight. He doesn't care what the opposition in red do.
No, and they've both had similar experience levels. So they've been in here. They've know how to manage their energies. They know how to sort of control the fight. They know what they can change their tactics, I'm sure, because they've had to in previous fights. So it's all about who can outwit the other or outpunch.
Second round, and big shots from both straight away. The left hand from Zacharidis is very, very lethal. That's fantastic. Just taking a moment to reevaluate and see what the game plan can be. That left hand, though, that's the game plan for Zacharidis at the moment. Combination. And Tuaga is just looking a little bit on the ropes, figuratively and literally. Into the corner they go, body shots, but Tuaga bounces back. This is looking dangerous for the man in red at the moment. He's got to fight out of there. He's trying to. Zacharidis is just going high, going low, mixing it up, and it's so hard to stop. At the moment, I mean, Tuaga just about has a defence, and it's not looking good for the man in red.
No, he's just collecting himself. I mean, he did really well there. He held a nice high guard. He took the shots on the gloves, just taking some time to collect himself, but he needs to throw back. At the moment, he's going from corner to corner, from ropes to ropes, and he's allowing Zacharidis just to pick his shots. And he's got to hold his hands up, otherwise the ref might be looking to jump in here.
I was just about to say his hands are looking a little bit low now. Zacharidis is looking to take advantage. Hands are back up, so he'll go to the body, he'll go for an uppercut, gets the right hand. Tuaga looking to fight back, but this has been Zacharidis' bout so far. There is a bit of blood on the man in blue, I will say that, I think.
Tuaga's going to have to throw back because the ref otherwise will have no choice but to step in.
It is just a barrage of punches from the man in blue. And while he's trying to fight back, it's not quite working. And again, maybe potentially saved by the bell. We will go into round 3, just about, Tuaga.
Certainly an accumulation of the punches there by Zacharidis, and there was a good variety of punch from body to head, and it takes it out of you, and especially if it comes with no response. Zacharidis just builds in confidence, he throws more shots, and Tuaga is really struggling for any response.
Zacharidis and Tuaga both look, they're super heavyweights. This is going into a 3rd round. Fitness will always be at the highest they can be, but look, they're big boys. Tiredness will come into this now. Zacharidis has thrown big punches, but not managed to get him down, not managed to get the stoppage. What more has he got to give, and what's Tuaga got? Because, I mean, he needs a stoppage.
Yeah, I think he is 2 rounds down, I totally agree. The danger is, of course, at this weight, if you do look for the stoppage and you look for the knockout punch, you know, you may well roll onto 1-2.
Zacharidis picking up where he left off. He doesn't want to waste time now. Right into the corner. Tuaga's got to get out of there if he can. He can't. The hands are still up, but he's just swinging. And there is the standing count. That's not much of a surprise. Count of 6. This is going to continue. Count of 7. For how much longer, I'm not sure, though, because Zacharidis has got the bit between his teeth.
Yeah, Tuaga's just trying to survive now. Got good guard, but, you know, there's nothing coming back.
Right hand getting through as well. Second standing count in about 10 seconds here. This might just be the end of the road for the man in red. And it is.
It's the right decision.
What a great performance by Marine Zacharidis. He's told Forces News a few days ago that while he has boxed at a Marine Corps Championship last year, he still gets nervous. He still wonders what could happen. Well, what's happened is that he's put a great performance. He didn't need to be nervous. That was really controlled boxing.
I think there's something wrong if you're not nervous. You know, the environment you're going into, the task that you're undertaking, if you're not nervous, there's something wrong. And I think those nerves are critical to get you to the right physical level and the right mental level to undertake these tasks.
A little bit of emotion, I think, on the face of Zacharidis there. Big moment for these guys. And I will say, when they went up to the officials sort of explained his decision. I think Tuaga didn't have a complaint. I think he knew He knew from the end of the first round he was struggling. And the winner's sister, Natasha, is on YouTube saying, proud little sister, go Sacha. Well, he's done you proud there, that's for sure. A great win in the 9th bout of the fight, and another win for 4-5 Commando. Now, again, I will state, we don't know the team awards, but if we're doing it on the night, 4-5 Commando are starting to run away with this. Admittedly, they have a boxer in a lot of fights, so we'll see. Let's head on to number 10 then, shall we? Middleweight, light middleweight. And we mentioned them earlier, actually. I think both men have had a mention in the YouTube comments. This in the red is Marine Joe Slatter from 4-2 Commando against Marine Tom Birtwell, also from 4-2 Commando. So bragging rights certainly on the line here. Teresa Allen is supporting Slatter. Come on, Slatter, you can smash this, she says. We support you and the Marines always. Love from your favourite uncle and favourite auntie. So good to see support. And we will see what he can do for his family here. Well, see what he can do on the big lights, that's for sure. Is that big Phil Gilby? That's one of the comments. It is Phil Gilby, yeah. He's enjoying himself, I think. I even saw him crack a smile earlier. This is open category, open class category. Some people may not understand exactly what that means.
Yeah, so we have 3 categories tonight. We have what they're calling the novice, the intermediate, and the open. The novice class generally is under 10s or sometimes under 5s, as we see it in the military boxing. The intermediate is sometimes between sort of 5 and 20, if not a little bit more. And the open class is essentially you can go in against any boxer, any international, any domestic boxer. So these guys that we're seeing, the next 3 bouts, they're open class bouts, and essentially the most experience that we'll see today.
Well, I will say, talking experience, both men have won the same amount and lost the same amount. So.
Between in the red corner and representing 4-2 Commando, Marine Sutter. And in the blue corner, representing 4-2 Commando, Marine Welterweight.
So yes, Marine Slatter we'll start with. Won 9, lost 9. So 18 fights he's experienced in the ring. While Birtwell has only fought twice. Slatter, I will say, 18 fights, only 24. So a lot of fights in a short period as well. In the red, that's Slatter. Birtwell in the blue. 4-2 Commando or 4-2 Commando. These two probably sparred each other loads and loads of times in the last few years.
They will know each other inside out, no doubt. They will be in the unit gym together.
Now we don't know for certain if it's similar to last week. We had 2 best friends fighting last week in the 1PWR fight night, let's call it. We don't know how close these two are, but like we say, they train together on a regular occasion. You get bonds with your own teammates. Doesn't mean they can't punch each other in the face though. Support for Slatter on YouTube, and it is Slatter who's trying to get hold of it in the ring. Neither man really landed a punch. Slatter does there a couple of combinations. Slatter though backed up into the ropes. Good combinations again, and it's where these sort of fight has got to be won or lost.
Yeah, Slatter working well on the counter here. He is putting himself towards the ropes, but you can see he doesn't give Slatter the opportunity. Doesn't give Slatter the opportunity to land before he throws his own and comes out of the corner, gives himself more space.
Do you think that is another tactic that can be used? Yes, you are backed up into the rope, but you sort of sucker them in to hit them back.
Yeah, if you can, yeah, absolutely. You're sort of you are calling them in. You know, you give yourself enough space that you can take a little half step back so that they can fall short, and you can come back with your combinations. But you'll see as he comes back here with his combinations, he's moving his feet forward. He's giving himself the space. Good work by Slatter.
And the first round of bouts come to a close. Burtwell has held his guard, he's held his feet fist up, but a lot more combinations, let's say, for Slatter. Not a lot to give between two men who, as we said, know each other, you would expect, very, very well. And that kind of showed it. There wasn't any opportunities given.
No, and we see the difference in experience. We see the difference in we've got two really good technicians here. You know, it's a game of chess. You know, there's some excellent defences, excellent footwork, some really good combinations. But I think Slatter probably just edged that with the faster shots and the counter punching.
Well, either way, 4-2 Commando are going to get points from this one, which is good. I don't know who decided to match up the 2-4-2 Commando. I don't know how it works in terms of the matching up, admittedly, but it worked out for them, and it's worked out for us because we're seeing a fascinating battle of tactics and, well, will in a lot of ways. That's a really good combination. I'm not quite sure it scored, but that's what you want to see from the man in red. He's starting to really attack now.
A great little screw shot there that just came up and under the elbow of Burtwell, and he allowed that just to set him up for the backhand.
I wonder if his trainers, Slatter, has said get out of the corner. So he's on the attack in this one, and it's now Burtwell with his back on the ropes. Tom Burtwell needs to try and find his footing in this one. Slatter certainly is starting to enjoy himself out there a little bit. Big shout from the coach there, box it out. It's fascinating to watch that these two are just, in a way, so evenly matched. Just something a little bit extra from Slatter at the moment.
He's just finding that range so well. He is the shorter boxer, or certainly looks so from where we're sitting, but he's managing to get inside the range of Burtwell. Burtwell he's trying to keep it long. He's trying to take that little half step back and counter, but Slatter's just too quick on the counter.
And at the moment, he'll be very comfortable with himself, Slatter. He looks very comfortable out there, it should be said. That's a good left hand.
Burtwell just needs to increase the volume. He needs to throw a few more shots, a couple more feints. Just needs to set Slatter up a little bit more. Give him something more to think about. He's throwing sort of single shots and two-shot combinations. He just needs to throw a little bit more.
Feels like he's throwing reactive shots more than commanding shots. That's probably the better way to say it. And at the end of the second round, it's still all to play for, still right in the balance. But the man in red will feel a lot more comfortable with his chances. And if you are Joe Slatter, one more round of that, you'll feel confident you'll have your hand raised. So what can Marine Burtwell bring? He's shown he has got a good reach, Burtwell. And I wonder if he needs to just come out looking for the win more than I wonder if he's not looking for the win, but trying to avoid the defeat, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, and there's some, it can be some negativity that I've seen in the second round there, that because the counters are so quick by Slatter, he's almost not committing to the first phase of his shot, so he's sort of half committing, which makes it slightly slower and gives Slatter the advantage even more. So he needs to commit with those shots and really believe in those shots. Come off to the side, change the angle, move his head, and come back with some really good shots. He's a great boxer. He's got some really good technique, good shots. Just needs to commit with them, throw more, which he seems to be doing in his first couple of seconds.
Well, Slatter does have the experience in the ring. As we said, 16 more bouts. So at the moment, maybe that could be the slight difference. That's a really good combination again from Slatter, who's turned the combinations from the body to the head quite comfortably. Again, good left hand. Well, trying to get back into this. But as much as Slatter has got a few good combinations going, defensively, he's looked solid too.
Yeah, he seems very comfortable in the pocket, very comfortable in range. He knows when to stand, when to throw the shots, and when to move his feet.
But talk of a Slatter, classy Slatter is what we're hearing in YouTube, and you can see it in a lot of ways. That left hand got round the body, but then just threw it back there, Slatter. So now there was this little slip there. Not sure if it was a tangle of legs or not, but it's actually allowed the man in blue to get on top. And in the third round, the man in blue has held his own and come back into it a little bit. Potentially not enough, but a little bit.
Yep.
That's a good scoring punch.
Really speedy response, really speedy counter boxing. It's a really great performance by Slatter.
That's a really great punch, 2 in a row there, and we're gonna have a standing count. And for the man in red, that was a timely little flurry.
Yeah.
No time for any more. 2 men who clearly know each other very well. Lots of respect at the end. And let's see what the judges' decisions say, but the man in red, for me, probably edged that one.
Yeah, and I think, there was a huge golfing experience there, and I think Slatter certainly had the advantage, but he did demonstrate, what that experience brings.
And
Excellent performance.
I mean, when it's an open category like that, sometimes I suppose you can get unmatched, but that was quite matched. That was quite similar.
Yeah, it certainly didn't. It certainly belied the difference in experience, and I think Bert Wells should certainly receive the credit for putting up a fantastic challenge to Slatter.
He held in there, Bertwell, and I mean, we haven't had the decision. You never know. You never know in this sport. So, I mean, I wonder which one of these is going to go back into camp next week with a little bit of a raised chin, puffed out a little bit. Experience wins tonight in this one. Slatter picking up the victory, but a very promising performance from Bertwell, who's in his just I've disappeared. It's only his 3rd fight. Do you know what I mean? So 2 men put in good performances. 1 man has his arm raised. Well, now we are getting into the real grit of it. We've had 10. We've only got 2 left. We have a middleweight open main event, let's say, between Marine Crooks and Marine Fanning. But before we get there, it's a heavyweight open. And it's time for the big boys to come back out again. It's Marine Gabriel Rand Silva from 4-2 Commando taking on Dominic Zieba, Marine Dominic Zieba from the Commando Training Centre, another hometown boy. Bout number 11 then. I feel like we've seen it all already tonight. We've seen so many different styles.
Yeah, absolutely. Such a variety, but actually some great technicians. It's been a really impressive display of boxing.
We've seen a lot of fights where it hasn't been about knocking the opponent out. It's been about surviving and getting the scoring punches. That's not to say we won't see it here with the heavyweights. These 2 men, I mean, they are ready for a big fight. Let's say that much. Rand Silva in the red, Zieba in the blue, and both men have experience, lots of it. 17 fights for Rand Silva, 11 wins, 6 defeats, while there has been Also 6 defeats for Zeba, but 15 wins. So both men know how to win a boxing bout. So which one of them will get just the slight more, the difference in this one. Similar ages as well, 25, 27. I don't know what would you say the prime is for a boxer?
Well, I think it depends what age you start. I think, you know, if you see schoolboys and schoolgirls starting at the age of 10, I think perhaps the prime age is maybe, you know, maybe late teens, early 20s. But some, you know, more so now we're seeing people taking up boxing at a later age. And, you know, heavyweight certainly can go on, you know, until sort of the mid-30s.
And these two are heavyweights.
The 11th bout of the evening is a heavyweight open contest boxed over 3 2-minute rounds. Between the red corner and representing Pontoon Commander, Marine Rance Silva. And in the blue corner, representing the Commando Training Centre, Marine Zeba.
We'll say straight away, because I'm sure people see it now as they go face to face. There is a physical difference, a height difference for Rance Silva, and that brings a slight weight difference as well. He weighed in at 92 kilos. Zeba was 89.7, so not a massive amount, but maybe just enough behind the punch. And the reach here, you would think, is going to be very important for Rance Silva. I think he's the tallest man we've seen in there tonight. Starting fast, the man in blue. Ducking his head a little and going low, and not sure how long the official will keep allowing that. Straight away, pick your head up from the official. So the hometown boy in blue. We've had a few of them, and to be fair to them, we have seen 2 wins from 2 from the Commando Training Centre boxers. And that is a deafening blow.
Yeah, so it started as a kind of boxer versus brawler fight, and absolutely it needs to be. Zeba has to get on the inside of those long arms, and Rance Silva is using his range very well. He's got some very nice footwork. He's keeping the balance.
Has to be speedy, doesn't he, the man in blue here, to get under the arms, like you say, but back up for those big shots.
Yeah, he's using that head really well. He's sort of dipping side to side, a bit Tyson-esque, to try and get inside that range. And when he's there, he's landing the significant shots with a good lead hand there.
That's a good scoring left hand as well. And just for a moment, the man in red was backed up on the ropes, cleverly got himself away. Very evenly matched, but the man in blue is just, at the moment, connecting a little bit more. That's a good punch, though.
Now, we haven't seen much sort of holding. We haven't seen much grappling until this point, and you know, that's testament to the technique and the training of the boxers. You see here now, sometimes you get holding, sometimes you get grappling technically with the boxers who have a little bit more experience. It gives them an opportunity just to have that couple of seconds breath.
There was a punch to the back of the head there. We've carried on through it, though. I wonder if, like you said, that the man in blue, Zeba, has to sort of get close to get under the arms. Is that Rance Silva's way of sort of defending that, a little bit of grappling?
Yeah, absolutely. He just spoils him. So as he comes in close, just to stop him from landing any punches, there's a little bit of sort of holding, you know, a little bit of grappling going on. And actually, you know, it's a tactical approach. It's not, you know, too much of it. The referee will warn him, but actually just to give yourself a couple of seconds breather and to change your feet to give yourself a bit of room, it's a good tactic.
Well, it's a tactic that has made a pretty even first round even, in our penultimate fight of the night. 4-2 Commandos, Rance Silva against the Commando Training Centre's Zeba, Marine Zeba. Round 2. And this chess battle will continue. And this time the man in red is starting to throw his own punches. That's 2 or 3 from both men connecting. a hint of an elbow. This is real heavyweight boxing now. Oh, great right hand that was, and a left connected too.
This is better by Ransilva. He's digging the shots in now, and he's doing it earlier. He's not allowing Zeba to come inside his range.
Getting a little bit more of the holding and the pushing. Referee warning both during this. As you say, those punches are now being thrown in. That's a headlock.
Yeah, that's not allowed.
Referee says, listen, no holds. I think the man in blue is a little bit rattled, isn't he, Zeba? Both men are going to get a warning, I think. Or have we got a little bit of blood?
Oh, his vest has come untucked. You have to have a clear colour between vest and shorts to define above and below the belt.
Right, that makes sense. And when a game like body shots could be important in this one. Frenetic again and just explosive in a lot of ways. That's explosive. Definitely been Ransilva's round this one. Again, more pushing and more shoving. Just when Zeba gets a little bit close, Ransilva puts a stop to it there.
Yeah, it's not pretty, but it is effective, and it is a tactic, recognised tactic. He doesn't want him to get in close and land those shots, clearly. Ransilva just needs to plant his feet a little bit, like he did at the beginning of this round. Plant his feet, throw 1-2 shots, and then move off. That was very effective to start with, but he seems to be getting caught up in a fight.
But he's allowing Ransilva to, once that is one hell of a right hand, by the way. Not quite sure how he's still standing after that. End of the round. Nearly the end of the fight. There's a bit of a wobble in the leg there, wasn't there?
Going back to the corner, yeah, certainly.
That was the most powerful shot I think we've seen all night. That was very, very strong. They say that from Ransilva, who had the second round there. First round, maybe you could have gone blue. Second round, I think definitely red. Third round, let's see. Let's see. Ransilva will have confidence now, especially nailing that right at the end. That
yeah, and it depends how Zeba's going to recover after that, because he was pretty wobbly going back to the corner.
I'm not sure if our cameras did pick it up. I hope they did, but we saw it at ringside. There was a bit of a dance on the way back to the corner with his wobbly legs. The trainers, I'm sure, will not let him back out there unless it's safe to do so, and he is back out. He's checking his eyes, I think, weren't you, just to make sure he looks okay. Let's see how long this can go, though. Ransilva has got a chance here, maybe, to end this before the end of the third round. Really good right hand there, but he's come out fighting, as you'd expect, the wounded animal that is Dominic Zeba. Misses with the uppercut, but he could have really nailed him. It's going to take a second, because I think similarly again the t-shirts come out. How do you think he's looking? Not quite sure.
I can't see his eyes, but yeah, he's responded well. He's come back fighting.
And we've got a real heavyweight battle on our hands in this third round. Bit more holding. Lift your head up, the referee says. However, that lifting the head up does make it a target. A lot of credit to Zeba here. He's really fighting for it.
Exchange of body shots there.
Both men, I think, connected. I'm not sure who hit harder there. Ransilva knows that this is there for him to take. Another connected left and right, but the blue gloves just keep flying at him. Doesn't stop.
Ransilva just catching him, and as he falls in, holding. So he's getting that recognition for that sort of significant shot, and not allowing Zeba just to land his own. Wow.
That is another huge right hand. And you heard that all the way back from all different naval bases across the UK. I'm sure you heard it on the live stream. This might just go the distance, and full credit to both boxers. That's back of the head, that's a bit booze ring round for the hometown boy as well, so you know he's not done something good there. I'm not sure how that'll go against the judges as we end the contest. Not the way we necessarily wanted to, I think. I don't know how we didn't see a stoppage there, because that was...
But took some pretty heavy shots there, didn't he? And I think actually he lost a point there at the end with the referee taking a point off him. So I think it's all against him going into this decision. Absolute credit to Zeba for being there at the end. Yeah, most definitely. I mean, it would have flattened most people. Flattened me, and I'm sat at ringside, so let's see what the referee's decision will be. Judge's decision will be. Both men, I mean, Zeba looked rocked still a little. Absolute credit for still being on his feet and still being in there, but he's been in a war. Not that, you know, Rand Silva hasn't, because both men hit hard. Cracking fight, says Peter Judd. Absolutely. Cracking is probably the right word as well. Might be a bit of a busy time for the doctor after that one. Judge's decision just being tallied. Andrew Sharp says, I'd like to see Royal Navy versus Royal Marines boxing match. Not quite sure exactly how that would go, but we guaranteed good fights. We'll say that much. If you are watching on YouTube and on Facebook, make sure you guys are commenting along. We've got one big main event to come, but let's see who wins this one. Well, I mean, when you have powerful punches like Marine Rand Silva just did, it's not a surprise that you have your hand raised. Absolute credit for Zeba and Rand Silva for putting on one hell of a heavyweight contest. Commando Training Centre take their first loss of the evening, I believe.
Both boxers to the doctor.
That's not a surprise. That is not a surprise. Well, what a fight that is, but we're not quite done. There is time for the main event, so to speak. Not that what we've seen so far wouldn't qualify. Middleweight open belt contest. It is going to be Marine Garrett Crooks from 4-5 Commando against Marine Connor Fanning from 30 Commando. This one should be the way to end it. Two men with a lot of experience in the ring. Crooks, the oldest man tonight, I believe, 34 years of age. That is experience. Won 22, lost 18. So, yeah, that is, what, 40 fights? 40 fights, Matt? Yeah, they're there. And Fanning has also got a lot of ring experience, 25 years of age, but won 23 and lost 10. So probably the two most experienced boxers in the final fight of the night. And both men are ready to make their way out, making us wait. Build the tension. The fans are having a sing-song. And we are ready for what should be a cracking end. Julie Harvey on YouTube says, loving this, cracking fights, guys. We are very happy to be bringing it to you. One way or another, the Royal Marines have put on a show. Lights, action, we've got the cameras. And we are hoping to end the right way. This is the first time tonight we are seeing 30 Commando, by the way. So they only get one shot at a bit of glory on the live stream, but the main final fight is one way to do it. And Fanning has got support on YouTube as well. There's a lot of support for Conor Fanning. Geraint Crooks has been around now, as we said, the oldest man, the man in red, Geraint Crooks. Not that he looks it, I will say that. 34 years of age against the 25-year-old Fanning. Both 75k, similar heights. Let's see what these two can do in the final fights. The Commando Training Centre is rocking right now. I'm sure you can hear it. Absolutely rocking. They've enjoyed themselves. We've all enjoyed it. We've had 11 bouts of real quality. Number 12 should be exactly the same. James Galpin on YouTube said, sparred both these lads, both very talented, going to be a cracking bout.
The son of one of our judges sitting ringside, Richard Galpin.
Yeah. I'm sure your dad's done a great job so far. Here we go then, final fight. Who will leave the lasting impression even, of the Royal Marines Boxing Championships. Go on, Crooksy, was the shout from behind us, and the man in red is just slightly being backed up in the opening, but he's coming out of the corner with a few punches, let's say that. Combination after combination. Just rocked the side of the head. Another one just on the temple. Crooks has got some energy for a 34-year-old, that's for sure.
He's landed that rear hook about 3 or 4 times now behind the guard of Fanning.
Two of the very best boxers in the Royal Marines in a lot of ways, with their experience and their talent. And in this first round, you have to say that Marine Crooks looks comfortable.
Does. Fanning's just, his head's just a little bit still. He's moving his feet, all credit to him, but his head's just that little bit still. Just needs to move the head off the centre line a little bit more, just to make it slightly harder to hit. That's better.
Left hand just jabbing through. Again, the left hand gets through again. Both men have, as we said, got the experience, and this is the big stage with the big lights. Not many more of these necessarily for particularly Crooks. He will relish this. Yeah, that's a good right hand.
Had a fantastic season. Been involved in lots of multi-day events, including Harrogate Box Cup, as far as I'm aware. And he's had a lot of experience and a really good season.
Both men getting some big punches in this first round. And the movement from both men, there's no staticness to them. They're both bouncing but moving, and you can see that these two know their way around this ring.
Definitely.
Fanning just growing into this first round now. Good left and right.
That's better. Moved his head off the centre line. He came back with a counter left hook. Really nice.
And body shot too, connected body. Had to eat one there. Both men have managed to get blows in. Bit of a shove there. Don't push him, says the ref. Not sure how long this sort of pace will last, but they are giving everything in this first round. Just a bit of a pushing of the heads as well. This means a lot to both of these. That's a great left hand. Body shot too to end the round for Fanning, who really grew into it. It was definitely Crooks' start, but it was Fanning's end.
Yeah, definitely. Once once Fanning found his range, and once he started to move that head a little bit, then he found the flow, found the rhythm, and the shots came with it. Certainly he finished the round stronger, with Crooks taking charge in the early part.
Well, this is the 12th bout, this is the final bout, and if you've been sticking around since the start, we'd love to know in the YouTube chat and in the Facebook comments, what's been your fight of the night? I mean, we've had 12 of them, lots of different styles, lots of different paces. Let us know what you think was fight of the night. It might be this one, which was a great first round. Both men look ready for another go for round two. Crooks already warned to stop pushing. That's what the referee will be watching for in this second round. And Crooks with the left hand straight away connected. Both men looking to get combinations.
Better start by Fanning. He's taking charge. That little screw shot there, giving him an excellent setup for that rear hand. Much busier by Fanning and a better start.
Fanning really starting to take control as he's getting across the ring, cutting off any momentum, but that's momentum that can't be stopped there. Left and right to the body.
Crooks landing some good shots, just smothering his work a little bit.
They are shots that will take the attention of the judges, I'm sure. Good body shot. I think it might have been slightly behind though. More body shots this time from the man in red.
That's better.
Good right hand connected too. Fanning's just got to be careful. He's on the attack, but he's just giving gaps at the moment, which Crooks is happy to barrel through.
Yeah. Seeing the kind of single phases from the boxers, you know, they're coming together, they're exchanging, they're parting again. You want to see one of the boxers doing second phase, so throw the shots, defend, and come straight back again with another set of shots, just to really take charge and to dominate this fight.
Well, Crooks ended up in the ropes a little illegally. That's it. Left hand to the body there. A very even round in a lot of ways again. Both men getting scoring punches, as does Crooks there.
That's the phase. Good, lovely. Yeah, good change of angle, good second phase. Caught him with the rear hand. And good body shots before that. Better from Crooks this part of the round.
Crooks got another... Well, I thought Crooks got the left hand in, but in fact it's Crooks that has the standing count.
They might have missed that.
Again, angles from all different ringside areas.
He had his back to us, so I don't know whether there was a short shot that we just missed.
That will give Fanning a lot of confidence and momentum now going into the second half of this one. And body shots once again. And to be fair to Crooks, he's starting to land those body shots. That's landed an uppercut though from Fanning. Going back to the uppercut, blocked this time. Again, and another flurry, not many hitting, end of second round. We are ending the night how we kind of started it. Very tight, very hard to call. Two men throwing a lot of bombs.
The volume, again, the volume of shots from Crooks versus the accuracy of the single shot, single and 1-2s from Fanning. But I think Fanning was just a little bit more composed then, caught him on the counter, and we must have missed a significant shot that that referee Mike Noble saw that we did not.
Well, 4-5 Commando have won, I'll count them, 1, 2, 3, 4 tonight. Marine Crooks will look to make it 5. They did take a defeat, 2 defeats in that. Marine Pentith and Marine Frawley. We've seen a lot of 4-5 Commando tonight. We've been very impressed with a lot of them as well, it should be said. Final round of the night then. That's a good scoring punch again, I think. That left hand is really dangerous. Again, rocks him backwards. The right hand too. He is an orthodox fighter, Fannin, but when your left hand's that powerful, it's the only bonus to your game.
Some great exchanges in this round. What a fantastic final round of the evening.
Fannin and Crooks laying it all out on the line. Actually, both men seem to be slightly enjoying this war now. That's a great combination from Crooks, and the referee calls an end to it because it was a low shot, let's say.
That's a bit harsh, I think. It's a great combination.
Crooks going back to the body. He's found his target, I think, now, Crooks. You've already seen one man win with loads of body shots tonight. Crooks is looking to add his name to that list. Bit of push in, bit of shove in, but they'll fight some box out of it. His head was a little low, I think, Crooks. Lots of scoring punches, lots of combinations from both men. Both men have boxed incredibly well. Real technique, real timing as well from both men. That's a great left hand from Crooks. As we enter the final period of this final round, just takes one big scoring punch, I think, here, and
Crooks is looking for that lead hook to the body. It's one of his signature shots. I've seen him drop quite a few people with that. He's just hoping that that's going to decide it for the judges.
And Crooks has had it. Ooh, that was kind of caught him by surprise there. Wasn't quite got his defence up. The speed from Fannin. Crooks has had a couple of warnings, admonishments that might go into this as well. And it's this tight. Another good combination. Then that noise means start throwing punches, it seems. A great night of boxing, a great final round, really technical final bout. And we'll find out who's going to win this one. I don't want to call that one. I have no idea.
No, me neither. A fantastic display of technique, of stamina, of strength, of grit. Great boxing.
I just wonder how much the referees' admonishments might play into this, because there were a few potential low shots. I know you said a few were harsh, so we'll say potential, and we'll find out the winner of the final fight very shortly. Jay Chandler on YouTube says, will there be a highlight reel after? Only managed to catch the last 4 fights. Well, there will be a highlight video on the BFBS Sport YouTube over the next few days. But look, this is the live stream on YouTube. If you want to watch it back, you can watch it back. All fights will be available on demand. And if you are a serving personnel, you could be watching on BFBS TV services. Again, catch up will be available on those too. James Galpin says Crooks, he was busier and will get the decision.
Well, James knows what he's talking about. He's a fantastic boxer in his own right, so let's see.
Let's see indeed. It's a bit quiet actually in here for this one. I'm not sure anyone quite knows where this one will go. Both men smiling, pleased with their work. Both men have put in good performances. split the judges, but it is a win for Marine Connor Fannin. 30 Commando get on the board, and the final fight, that could have gone both ways, clearly. So absolute credit to both boxers. 4-5 do not get their final win. They got a few tonight. Crooks doesn't quite get it, and again, I just wonder how much the referee's admonishments got into that. Because there can't have been much.
No, if it's tight, then those that count. The warnings, can maybe play on the minds of the judges and decide it for him.
And a special belt to go with it for Marine Crooks. This was the one with the belt on the line tonight, I believe. So a nice bit of silver there, so to speak. I feel like I'd wear that everywhere. Never take it off. Great final bout, says James Galpin. Absolutely. Good effort, Fannin, says Hot Sippers on YouTube. And we've had a cracking night of boxing. Absolutely brilliant night. This trophy is for the best Commando Training Centre boxer, which, I mean, you've got Tolhurst, you've got Caulfield. We will try and find out the final team winner for you as well, very shortly. Marine Tommy Caulfield, who gets the trophy, a very nice looking trophy as well. Will the stream be on YouTube to watch later, folks? I appear to have missed it all. Absolutely, yeah, you can watch this back whenever you like. Another winner on the night, the middleweight contest. The fourth bout was won by Marine Daniel Humphreys, and I absolutely agree with that. He did look the best on the night. He has got a real future. Final winner of the night. He's got a belt, he's got a trophy. Not a bad night's work.
Very successful night for him and very well deserved.
Now, we're trying to see if the team award will be given out now. I believe it will be. So, the big award for the Royal Marine Corps Championships.
Ladies and gentlemen, can I draw your attention?
The big trophy as well. The big trophy enters the ring. I think it takes about 4 of them to lift it.
The Royal Marines Boxing Trophy. The Royal Marines Boxing Trophy is awarded annually to the units gaining the highest number of points in the Royal Marines Championships, and will be awarded by Colonel C.E. Orr-MC, the Commandant of the Commando Training Centre.
Now, the reigning champions are 4-2 Commando. Just pipped 4-5 Commando in 2022. And they retain their title. 4-2 Commando retain their title. So 4-5, we misheard at ringside. 4-5 Commando take the trophy then. A big win for them, and that makes a lot more sense with our scorecard on the night. 4-5 Commando have been all over the show, so to speak. And with whether it's Marine Josh Harvey, whether it's Marine Toby Hamer, we've saw wins for Marine Ramshaw, James Rambo Ramshaw. Zacharias also from 4-5 Commando picked up a win. And while they didn't win the final contest, Crooks put in a hell of a performance and they win the team trophy, the big one. What a night of boxing. And I think that is about a time for us to say goodbye. That we're going to start leaving the arena. So I will say, Lucy, thank you so much for giving us the expertise tonight. You've done absolutely superb. It's great to have you again. You kind of carry these BFBS boxing broadcasts, I think, at this point. So it's been a good night. Have you enjoyed yourself?
It's been wonderful. Thank you very much for the invite, and what a pleasure it is to witness this fantastic boxing tonight.
We've seen some great boxing, and we're not done with the live sport. As you guys will have seen earlier, there is a trailer that it is the UK Armed Forces Rugby Union team will be following over the next couple of months as they look to win the Forces World Cup. Keep an eye out for that one. That should be a number of big matches. We're going to say goodbye here. We've had a great night. We hope you guys have too. And yeah, you'll have to join us for a whole lot more. Thank you and good night.
What a great comeback by UK Armed Forces.
UCAF hit back with their second try.
Beautiful try for the UK Armed Forces.
Now the power, and it's another try.